Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexiot's here, and I'm very early because there's a lot to do today. There's two games today that I have to preview, and of course, we got to react to a fantastic win over the Philadelphia 76ers last night. So I'm starting real early. I'm starting right at 9 o'clock because the Raptors 9:05 game starts at 11 a.m. on YouTube, and I'd like to watch it. So we're going to try and get 2 hours of stream in before 11 to cover everything we need to cover. And there is a lot. It's a dunkiversary. It's currently right now a full moon, the snow moon. It just happened at 8:53, the full apex of the moon over Toronto, full right now. Full moon powers activate. Scotty Barnes is an awesome scorer. Yeah, so it's a busy day. It's Dunkiversary. 25 years ago, it was over, and all the Raptors were filming that yesterday. That was cool to see, actually. I like that little clip of the Raptors at practice imitating Vince and going, "It's over, it's over." I love the way that Scotty did the little thing behind Grady when he did his, and Brandon Ingram participated in it and did the "It's over" also with a big cheesy smile on his face too. That was cool seeing that little clip. There's been some really fire, good stuff coming out from Raptors official admin and social media accounts with just inside stuff and behind the scenes stuff with the team that's just been so fun this year. So fun. I think that it's a symbol of the vibes and how good they're doing with the vibes on the team under Darko. And you see the opposite from the other side in the game last night against Philadelphia that Nick Nurse, well, in some ways, his coaching style brings division and uncertainty and weirdness. And that's why we needed to fire him, y'all. Last night is a very good example of this. The game last night, at some point, I said the Sixers are exactly as good as their record, but the Raptors are better than their record right now. And you would say with Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey, the Sixers should be way better. This is just the damn truth, honestly. But I watched Nick Nurse's press conference before the game last night, and he was already conceding that they were going to lose to the Raptors. Why would he do that? That's not like Nick Nurse. That's not like Nick Nurse. He didn't say it outright, but they asked him. He said, "What's wrong with the Sixers right now, Nick?" And Nick said this blew me away. He said, "Our guys are not doing a good job of handling their lives on off days. That they're not doing good recuperation schedules, and they are basically not taking care of themselves in the right way on their own time to be able to be ready to play the right way." And I think you could straight up read through the lines and say Joel Embiid is who he's speaking about specifically right there. But there may be other players on the team that ain't taking things too seriously. But obviously the Sixers are not connected. They're not a good team, and they're weird, bro. They're very weird. They deserve to get their ass beat. You get what you get. And I'm glad in a close game we didn't fumble it, and we did end up getting that big, huge victory because now we're 2-0 over the Sixers this year. We've beaten them both times we played them. And, well, in a crazy year like this, would you be upset if we swept the Sixers? No, I wouldn't be, because sometimes that feels so good, especially going to Wells Fargo, quieting that crowd, and getting a big dub in that arena. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. I mean, hey, they're announcing our guys before the game, and after every player, they yell, "Sucks." Well, who sucked last night? I'll tell you who sucked. Joel Embiid when he dribbled the ball off his leg and Grady Dick stole it. I'll tell you who sucked. Tyrese Maxey, who couldn't shoot and didn't make a single damn field goal until the fourth quarter. Yeah, I'll tell you who sucked. Paul George, who acted like a cardio merchant for half the game, and then he rose up a little bit in the second half. Yeah, that's who sucks. That's who sucks. The Sixers are so bad, Kyle Lowry's not even invested in watching them anymore. He's on the bench playing on his tablet in the middle of the game. He's not even watching the game. And then I feel like half the time he's just turning around talking to the assistant coaches and the rest of the bench about the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl. I feel like that's what's going on. Kyle's not paying attention. He's checked out. He doesn't really give a shit. And in some ways, he's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm playing for Philadelphia. It's nice. Hometown. The Eagles won. Y'all, I don't care about anything that's going on with the Sixers because it sucks. That's kind of what it felt like last night. Now, I'm going to do the ref report live on the channel. I'm going to be doing the process that I do for the ref report on here because I do not have it prepared. The refs have not been announced yet for today. They have announced our G League refs so far. They are up right now. I could go ahead and say that. The Raptors 905 are playing today at 11 a.m. It's a school day game. I'm not sure if it's in Scotiabank or if it's out at Mississauga. I'm not totally sure. It could be at either one. This could be a game that's actually in the big arena this morning. Cleveland Charge is the team they're playing. The Cleveland Charge are the G League team for the other team we're playing today, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Cleveland Charge, this is their lineup. They have Jules Barnard, Darius Brown, Imoni Bates, Elijah Hughes, Farron Hunt, London Johnson, Sean McNeil, Pete Nance, Gabe Oshabuhine, Zaire Smith, JT Thor, Luke Travers, and Naquan Tomlin is the lineup for the Charge. Our referees for today's 9:05 G League game at 11 a.m., which is why I'm early. Shalisa Painter is the crew chief, number 66. She's refereed a few of our games recently. Gina Catanzariti is the referee at number 5. And Bobby Besant, the third, is the umpire, number 58. That is your ref report for the G League game at 11 a.m. this morning. I'll have the refs for the other game very shortly. I guess maybe we'll go ahead and do the injury report for today, even though that's not totally updated right now, and it's a little murky about what's going on here. But I will say this, in the post-game interview with Emmanuel Quickly, they were announcing, Emmanuel and RJ, that RJ will be playing today. They said it already then. It's weird. It's like the interview with Emmanuel after the game last night was hilarious. That man was trying to eat his chicken. They wouldn't leave him alone. They wouldn't. The press was all around him, and like people in the comment section say, "Let that man eat his dinner. Stop bugging IQ. He just played in a game, and he needs to eat his chicken." And then at some point during the interview, Emmanuel goes, "Oh, the chicken's dry, and he needs some water." He needed a water break like me. He needed a little water break. But yeah, it was funny. Emmanuel really loose. He's hilarious. He's saying what the game plan is for tonight is we're going to get out of the way and give the ball to RJ Barrett. And that's all we're going to do. And Michael Grange, oh, come on, Emmanuel. You know that's not the plan. Yeah, Michael Grange, shut up. It's a joke, you idiot. Why you got to bust up on Emmanuel's joke, bro? You're already busting up on his dinner and not letting him eat his chicken. So why don't you just let him eat his chicken and leave him alone? RJ Barrett said, yeah, I'm playing today. He said that himself in Emmanuel's post-game interview. So, and tomorrow RJ Barrett will return. He'll be playing basketball tomorrow. This is what Emmanuel quickly said. I think RJ's been sitting around on the bench and being like, man, I should be playing. This concussion shit is stupid. I could have been helping them in the Houston and Philadelphia games. I'm itching to go. He's itching to go. He's going to be playing tonight. That's it. They said it straight up in post game. RJ Barrett will be back tonight, guys, to play in this game against the Cavaliers. So be ready for that. That's what I'm going to say. Let me see if Blake's got anything new up on his account on Blue Skies, because sometimes that's the best place to go and see the latest injury news is with Blake. But Blake's not up yet. He's still sleeping probably. I don't know where Blake is. Maybe he's on his way to work. I don't know. Anyway, let's go see. Did they announce the refs yet? And then maybe I can get the ref report ready. Yes, they did. They have announced the refs now. Then I'll go ahead and get the ref report ready as I'm going to talk to you guys. So this is going to be a little bit of juggling because this is me using both of my sides of my brain at the same time. So I don't want to give it away who it is right away. So I'm going to go ahead and do the work while I BS a little bit. So I'm going to say this. There is a possibility that Jakob could be playing tonight too, guys. Just going to say that because his hip injury is interesting. So we'll have to see if that's possible. Of course, the rest of the injury list is not that bad at all. Other than that, I mean, Brandon, we'll have to see what his timetable is to make his Raptors debut. So let's see. All right, that's that ref. All right, I'm going to be a little nefarious for a little bit because I'm working this all out right now. And does take a little bit of a process here to do the ref report work. So bear with me right now. I'm going to have it all set up and ready for you guys in just a second. I hope everybody's having a good morning so far on this great Dunkiversary morning. When 25 years ago, Vince Carter wowed the world in Oakland at the slam dunk competition, and they're celebrating it tonight. And they're going to have a special edition shirt that's got a slam cover like the magazine, and it's going to have Vince on the cover, and it says "Greatest of All Toronto," which I don't agree with, but it's a great collector's item. And some of y'all might want to get to the game tonight and get that shirt. I know Monique's going to be going to the game tonight, so hopefully she can get one of those shirts. I'm pretty sure she will. But yeah, you got to get there early because there's only 5,000 of them. There's not one for every single person in the gym. So there's going to be, a quarter of the people that go to the game tonight are going to get them. So, I don't even know if that's a quarter. That's not a quarter. Only 500. I think there's only 500 or 5,000. No, there's 5,000. It's 20,000. So it's a quarter. I was right. It's quarter. Yeah. All right. Let's see the second ref. That's who we've got. Everybody's kind of like, what is he talking about? What does he mean? That's who we've got. I'm finding out, y'all, just for you, so I can do the ref report correctly. That ref crew yesterday was not bad. Ed Malloy wasn't bad. He could have been a lot worse. They didn't do anything too egregiously bad. I was worried at the end of the game, though, because the game was close and Ed Malloy's present, that he could absolutely win the game for the Philadelphia 76ers without it. But you know what? Where they screwed up was when Joel got to the line late in the game. He missed the first free throw, and Nick Nurse just, oh my gosh, he rolled his head. He hates Joel. They hated each other when he was on Toronto. Well, they hate each other on Philadelphia, too. I can tell. I don't know if Joel hates Nick, but I'm pretty sure Nick hates Joel. I can go by body language, and just knowing Nick Nurse for most of his coaching career, yeah, he probably hates Joel. Joel is like the anti-player that he wants. It always hurt, doesn't work hard, misses crunch time free throws. If he had made those free throws, I could have seen an alternate reality where Ed Malloy actually railroaded us to the loss. Seriously, Joel makes the free throw. It's a little bit closer. It's like 97 and 98. They could have manipulated there, but because he missed and then we made the next basket, we had more of a cushion. Although there was threats that they could have hit that three to tie it up to go to overtime, but Maxey was off and he was very short with his last shot of the game. And Joel made a really stupid, boneheaded dribble turnover, which Grady scooped up, which was absolutely freaking fantastic. I love that so much. All right, let me do the last ref real quick, and we'll have the ref report ready for you guys. Yeah, see, I'm working while I'm bullshitting with you guys right now. I'm actually talking and doing this with something else with my other side of my brain at the same time. Woo, that's creepy, man. That's creepy, Lex. Wow, all the refs are right next to each other. This is very interesting. This is very, very interesting. All the refs are right next to each other on my ref report sheet. And in some ways, that is a bad sign. Let's see. What was it? Oh, yeah. Okay. So we lost the last time with him. Okay. We'll put that there. That's what goes there. And what is the percentage for the Cavs with him? Oh, wow. It's right there, the same place. Okay. All right. I've got the ref report ready, guys. I'll go ahead and announce the ref report to you now on here. I should do the latest lineup news real quick because that's normally the order. First, all right, we'll do the latest lineup news for the Raptors. And I'm going to say this right now. All right, who cares about PJ Tucker? I don't even know why he's on here. Brandon Ingram is not playing today. We'll say that. Jakob Poeltl, right now, it's not clear with him. I can't tell you if he won't play today. It's very likely he'll be called questionable today, but not totally out. But it could be that he's totally out. I don't know. RJ is right now, as it says, is out. But I don't believe that because it came straight from his mouth last night, as I said. In the post-game interview with Emmanuel Quickly, he said he's playing today. So expect RJ back in the lineup for the Raptors. Fresh person to be ready to play against the Cleveland Cavaliers on the second night of a back-to-back. The Raptors are feeling good. This back-to-back was a dreaded one for me. I saw it at the beginning of the season on the schedule, and I was like, man, this is a crappy back-to-back. We got to go to Philadelphia, play them, and then turn around and come back to Toronto and play Cleveland right away, right before the All-Star break. Well, I totally thought that at that time that the Sixers would be a top team in the league, and this would be us against two top Eastern teams in a really, really bad back-to-back situation. Well, the Sixers were the Sixers, and we got the W on the first end of the back-to-back. And I love that. I love that so much. Who knows what could happen tonight? You feel good. You feel good on a full moon dunk-iversary. Maybe you mess around and you win a game against the Cavs, the top team in the East. Just to do it. Why not? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Yeah, so that's the injuries basically with the Raptors. It's likely that, Poeltl probably will sit one more game, but who knows? They may call him in because they need him against the crazy-ass towers of Allen and Mobley with the Cavaliers today. In some ways, it'd be great if Yacht could show up just real quick and do some stuff out there. We'll have to see. Let's go look at the Cavaliers side of things with injuries. And this is what's listed right now. We got Ty Jerome is day-to-day. Actually, he's questionable for today's game due to a calf injury. So Ty Jerome, very feisty off the bench player for the Cavs, is questionable. Max Strus, the three-point shooter for the Cavs, is questionable also due to an ankle injury. JT Thor I'm not sure where he's going to be. He could either be playing at the 11 o'clock game or he's going to be playing tonight, or he could be playing at both games. I don't know. They could actually pull that off too. That's the thing. Both these games are here in Toronto. Could there be some double duty for any of the Raptors 905 or any of the Cleveland Charge? Could there be JT Thor appearance in 11 o'clock game coming up soon and at the Cavs game? I don't know. Could it be that Ulrich Shamshe is going to do something crazy today where he played last night against the Sixers? Then he's going to play this morning at 11 a.m. against the Cleveland Charge. And then he's going to play against the Cavaliers at 7:30 tonight at Scotiabank Arena. That would be crazy. But hey, I'd love to see it. If he could pull it off, if it's not too crazy and it's not going to mess him up, why don't you get him some crazy double duty? All those 905 guys, send them to the 11 o'clock game, although they did travel last night on a back-to-back, and they'd probably be tired. So I'm going to guess that the only Raptors main roster player that's going to be playing in this 905 game at 11 o'clock is going to be A.J. Lawson, because he's the only one who didn't go to Philadelphia and play last night. Ulrich Shamshe is not even going to be available for the 905 against the Charge this morning. I don't think so. We'll see. Okoro is out right now. Isaac Okoro, he's out with a shoulder injury, and Dean Wade is also out due to a knee injury. So that's kind of the injuries for the Cavaliers right now. Their four main guys are all healthy, and some of their bit players are out. Now, they just acquired from the Atlanta Hawks DeAndre Hunter, which is a very interesting add to their team. It's weird. They traded Karis LeVert out and another player. They traded Georges Niang, Karis LeVert to Atlanta, and DeAndre Hunter to Cleveland. So that's an interesting new look. DeAndre's a long player, and he was in Atlanta for so long. It's very interesting that he's on this team now. He's probably very happy to be on the top team all of a sudden. So, yeah, this is who the Cavs are right now. Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen off the bench, Sam Merrill, Ty Jerome, Isaac Okoro, Max Strus, Tristan Thompson, Craig Porter Jr., Jalen Tyson, Dean Wade, JT Thor, Imani Bates. So that's kind of their lineup right now. And as I said, some of these guys are out. Okoro's out. Wade is out. Strus and Jerome are questionable. That is what we're looking at with injuries for them. All right, let's do the ref report. As we said, the G League refs are Chalisa Painter, Gina Catanzariti, and Bobby Bazant the third. The 11 a.m. game, I'm not sure where it is. It could be at Scotiabank. But here's our crew chief for the Raptors versus the Cavs at 7:30 is Mark Davis out of Chicago, 27 season, number 8. Mark Davis, that's right. His favorite TV show is The Wire. He likes the movie Three Colors, Pan Africa. His favorite musician is John Coltrane. He likes to read Lonesome Dove. His favorite meal is pancakes. He likes that Cisco AnyConnect app so he can get on the internet wherever he is. He must like to visit Venice, and he liked to fly a helicopter along the Chicago River. That's right. Let's see. Mark Davis, a Chicago native, is enshrined in the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2021. In 2012, he was recognized by the Chicago Public League Coaches Association with induction into the Chicago Public League Hall of Fame. So he's in 2 Hall of Fames, guys. I don't even know that Mark Davis is a Hall of Fame referee, guys. That's crazy. But it's for coaching. So you must coach outside somewhere. Mark Davis enjoys golf and pickleball. All right, let's see what Mark Davis is. These refs are all right around 500 today. In fact, they're all in what I call the gray zone. The gray zone on my ref report spreadsheet, if you saw it, it's all color-coded. And I have refs that are favorable to us, and the most favorable are purple and pink and colors like that. And then the ones that are against us are yellow, orange, and red, getting worse. Like if you're red in the red zone, you're a really bad ref for us. And if you're in the brown zone, oh my gosh, you're at the very bottom. Well, in the middle zone, the gray zone, we have 3 refs in the gray zone right now. And that means right around 500. Mark Davis, we have a 49.5 winning percentage historically the whole time of his career. So that's a 50% win chance for the Raptors on there. And we won the last game he refereed us. That was during that win streak that we had last month. And we're 1-2 with him this season. But the Cavs are 51% winning with him. So it's 50-51 for the Cavs with the crew chief Mark Davis. It's very, very close, though. It's very, very close. 50-51 is the split for Mark Davis. He does favor the Cavaliers slightly. The second ref is going to be Natalie Sago, number 9, her 7th season out of St. Louis, Missouri. She likes the show Unsolved Mysteries, which is a cool throwback. She likes the movie Hardball. She listens to Morgan Wallen. Her favorite book is Winning. Her favorite meal is steak. That's what I ate last night. Favorite app, Instagram, and she must like to visit Fiji. Her bucket list is to watch a game in all 30 MLB stadiums, and she's more than halfway there. And her hidden talent is juggling. She likes to juggle. That's right. Natalie Sago's father, Sheldon, was a high school basketball official in Missouri for 35 years and a rules interpreter for the Missouri State High School Activities Association. He worked multiple state championships. Shelton was also a high school football official for 30 years. Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about her dad, but anyway, we'll put that in there, I guess, on her bio. A little bit of esteem for her dad. Now, she's exactly 500 with us. We did win the last game that she refereed for us. We're 1-1 this season. We've only seen Natalie twice. We're 500 for a career, exact wins and losses, the same type. Now, the Cavs win 58% of their games with her, though. So the split is 50-58 for the Cavs with the second ref, Natalie Sago. The third ref is Brandon Schwab. Brandon Schwab in his 4th season out of Orlando, Florida. He went to high school in West Orange in Winter Garden, Florida. His favorite TV show is I Think You Should Leave. His favorite movie is The Matrix. He likes the book, The 3-Body Problem series. His favorite meal is a coffee and a croissant. He most like to visit Iceland. His favorite app is Waking Up, and bucket list is Tour de Mont Blanc. Brandon Schwab, the Florida native, officiated 5 years in the NBA G League and 4 years at the collegiate level, working in the Sunshine State and Sun Conferences. That's right. He's kind of a replacement ref. He came in and started working during the bubble down in Orlando, and he's stuck on since. So this is his 4th year as a referee. Brandon is in that gray zone right in between the other two. We win 47% of our games. We lost the only game he refed us this year, and the Cavs win 40% of their games. So Brandon Schwab actually favors us, even though he has the worst winning percentage out of all 3. So right now, Sago has the highest winning percentage for us in this game at 500, and Brandon is the lowest at 47. 47. So 50, 47, and 50 for Mark Davis. Those are the splits for the Raptors. So the split with Brandon Schwab, 47-40 for the Raptors. So 2 of the refs favor the Cavs just slightly, and then the third ref favors us. So we'll have to see. We got home court advantage. We're rolling. The Cavs are very good. They've actually won a lot of games in their recent time. You know, they had that win streak at the beginning of the season. They beat us the first game of the year. But yeah, they've won 7 out of their last 8 games. And that includes wins over Miami, Detroit, Dallas, and Minnesota in those wins. So yeah, they're rolling a good. Boston's the only team that's beaten them in the last 8 games. So this is going to be a tough game. This is a very, very good opponent. And, we saw them on the first game of the season. They rocked us, and we haven't seen them since. So we're going to see them now, and we'll just see how it goes. It's the Cavs. They're a good team this year. In some ways, I fear them more than the Celtics right now. I really do. Out of all the Eastern Conference teams, I probably fear the Cavaliers the most right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, let's get into the chat. There you go. We got our setup on there, the ref report, injury, latest injury news. I'll check back in on that at the end because there may be some changes. It's just a weird thing when you have a game late last night and then you come right into the morning. Well, some of the media people haven't woken up and checked on what's going on with the injuries yet. And I can't know for sure the latest update. I can only kind of prognosticate about what I think it will be. And I think RJ's playing today. I think that's the biggest thing we need to say today. Yeah. Trevor J saying, no matter who tries to teach you the lessons about life, you won't understand it until you go through it on your own. Yeah. I wish this was something, sometimes actually this is not totally true, but it is in most cases. You go through stuff in your life and you have loved ones near you and you see them going down the same path that you may have gone down a couple of years before. And you try and warn them. You're like, you can't be like this because I know I went through this and you don't want to make the same mistakes that I made. You could tell somebody that, and well, if they're cognizant and aware enough, maybe they will avoid it because they listen to you. I'm just saying, you could say that they have to go through it, but that's not totally true. They could actually take your advice and avoid making the same mistakes you did. So, but I appreciate your words of wisdom, Trevor J. And yeah, hopefully you can avoid those things and be smart and take the advice of the person. But if you don't listen to them and they come back around and say, I told you so, it's just how it is. And Trevor's saying, I love how Scotty calls out Matt Bonner for saying he can't drive the paint, his post-game interview. Yeah, this came out in the interview. Scotty was really happy last night. He got the chain again. And honestly, this one last night was special because honestly, we got to think about Scotty's rookie year at the end of the year in the playoffs and when Joel Embiid stepped on Scotty's ankle and hurt him in game 1 of a playoff series with the Sixers. So dirty. So dirty. Well, I feel like last night was a revenge game for that. In some ways, Scotty, as a rookie, is just not capable or worldly enough in the NBA to pull off a revenge game like that until now. And that's a sign of maturity for number 4, who I rock his jersey today in honor of him because I'm very proud of him from last night. I'm just saying this was a revenge game. That's why it felt so good. It was on their home court. It was on the court where Joel stepped on Scotty's ankle years ago. And in some ways, that's what this was all about, honestly. And Joel was in the game and he got his ass beat. And let's not get it twisted. Beating Nick Nurse matters too. That's why last night in the fourth quarter, I was watching real close to see, are they going to put a development team in and call the game like they did on Sunday against the Rockets and just let the other team have it at the end? I was like, don't fucking do that tonight. It's Nick. It's the Sixers. It's Embiid. You cannot just roll over and let this team beat us because honestly, God damn it, think about this. Raptors fans, we hate Philadelphia. And anybody in Stank Nation last night who were mad that we beat them, you guys don't have the right priorities. We need to beat Philly. We hate them. And they got swept us last year. Well, we're sweeping them right now. And this is important to do. It's important for Darko to beat his predecessor. And it's important for us to get back at Nick a bit. And it's also important for us to beat our arch rival in this league, which is the Sixers, guys. It just is. So, Stank Nation, take a night off. How about that? Take a night off. Leo Routins, you piss me off, man. At the beginning of the game, you're talking about, well, the Raptors need to continue to lose so that they can get a high draft pick. And I'm like, man, stop promoting that stuff. I hate that. But you know what? Counterbalance that and made me love you last night. You're unfettered Joel Embiid hate. It's so good. Sam Mitchell's sitting there going, hater, hater, hater. I'm like, hate on, Leo, because we're with you on your Joel Embiid hate. And he's just playing it like it is. It's like Leo's seeing the world go to shit. And on TV, he's just like doesn't give a fuck anymore. He's awesome, man. He's like, yeah, Joel. Sam tried to say he's a great player. And Leo said to him, no, Sam, he's not a great player. He's a great talent. It doesn't mean he's a good player. Oh, Leo, wow, slap, bow, 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 beating up on Joel Embiid in the studio with Kate Burness and Sam Mitchell. I love you, Leo, for that. I'll look over your Tank Nation rhetoric just for the Embiid hate. That will counterbalance it and make me like, yeah, Leo's cooking today. He's also frying up the parlays, too. He's like, I think they should have done all the parlays on Joel tonight. He's like, he's ribbing and trolling the stupid-ass FanDuel shit, too. Leo, you're a hero right now. In some ways, I can tell you stopped giving a fuck, and you are off the script now. I mean, Leo's been doing this job for a long time, and in some ways, he's got some leeway to be a little bit like that. But, yeah, I love that. Now, talking about what Scotty said, this post-game interview, which Trevor just brought up, yeah, Scotty let it be known that he was going to get some treatment in the ice room, and he caught something on the TV with Matt Bonner saying that he said that Scotty cannot drive to the hoop. Scotty can't drive to the hoop. He can't do this, he can do that, but he just can't drop to the hoop. This guy heard him. This guy's like, what? What did Matt Bonner just say? Red Rocket? What are you saying, Red Rocket? Red Rocket, Red Rocket. What are you saying? And he's like, oh, I'm going to show him. And he got motivated by that. He's like, I want to show him I could. And he did. I love that. Scott, you came out and you went right in the basket the whole game. First of all, I'm going to say this. The Sixers are a pretender team, and they're like Swiss cheese. You can run right through them. So it was a very good apropos game for Scott to recognize, and I'm going to start scoring and go in there. Also, let's think about what we've been saying on this channel the last couple of days. A lot of Scotty slander all around on social medias and stuff like that. He may not be hearing that noise, but he heard Matt Bonner's noise, and it motivated him. And well, I was very proud of him. He went out there and he got 16 points the first half. And I said at halftime, if Scotty can get 16 points in the second half and get around there, 16 plus points in the second half, I will be so happy. And in some ways, that's the scoring punch I want to see. And that's what he did. He did. He finished up with 33 points. So he got 17 points in the second half. And he was fantastic. He got the most free throw attempts in his entire career last night, 15 free throw attempts. Ed Malloy and them were giving him free throws, Ray Acosta and Fennessy Ransom. I was surprised by that because Scotty actually was getting some really good respect. And that was from him driving to the hoop and taking contact and trying to finish. And that was fantastic. So, Scotty, kudos to you, man. You didn't rely on the three-point shot. Whatever notes you got game to game, from the Houston game to being 0 for 8 at 3, and whatever things that they said in the tape and looking at it and talking to you about adjusting, you listened, you did it, and you executed flawlessly. I'm very, very proud of you, Scott. And the thing is, you did things on both ends of the court last night. You did that all around excellent team defense that you've been doing that makes you look like Tim Duncan right now. And you also managed to carry on the offensive end of the being the leading scorer for the Raptors and having one of your best games as a pro last night. This is a superstar win for you, Scott. You went in there and you beat one of our big enemies, Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey, all playing in this game last night. And you were the superstar that won this game. That's what I want to say more often, Scott, and rep the 4 myself, because the number 4 is the best player on the court, whether he's scoring the most points or not. And, well, he scored the most points last night. So take that, Scotty Slanders, talking shit about our guy. How the fuck could you doubt number 4, our franchise player, our badass Scotty Wayne Barnes? How the hell could y'all doubt him in the last couple of days? You know, we have a little saying here on the Raptor Free channel called trusting Messiah and trusting Bobby. Well, y'all need to start trusting in Scotty Barnes and stop questioning him like Doug Smith did the other day. Scotty, what happens when you can't score at the beginning of the game? Don't question me. I will do it. No, don't worry. I'm just like that at this point too. I love that these guys gave a lot of credit to different places. And the players after the game give a lot of credit to Darko after the game. Emmanuel and Scotty saying this is our coach. He gets us prepared. And, this is a testament to his system and the way we're doing things, how quickly we're going from a rebuild into a team that's probably going to be a middle of the pack team soon and on its way to being a playoff team in the next year, honestly. We can try and figure out timelines with Brandon Ingram being on our team now, who signed an extension yesterday, by the way. And we got to talk about that. And also the draft pick that's coming to us down the road. With the team that we might have next year, we may very well be a playoff team next year. And people need to be ready for this. In some ways, they were trying to go over when did the rebuild happen. And Matt and Jack kind of got it right. Last year, it was when the rebuild started at halfway through the season. And now, halfway through the season now, we took 1 year of rebuild, really. We traded Siakam and Anunoby, started the rebuild then. And now we've got a 1 year to Brandon Ingram's extension. And now the rebuild's over, I'm telling you. Now, some people are speculating whether the Raptors are going to try and win or lose for the rest of the year. I'm telling you, they're too good to try and lose on purpose. We need to try and play all these games honestly, and we will win whatever we win, and we do not need to do what Leo's worried about and worry about where we're going to draft. Once again, I will say it, Masai and Bobby are really good at their jobs, and wherever we pick, we're going to get the best player, and it will be in the top 10 no matter what. Just trust me on this, okay? Just trust me on this. Yeah, I love how he said that. Matt Bonner gave you motivation. Thank you, Matt Bonner. This is a great contribution to Raptors culture, Matt Bonner, as an alumni, former Raptor, a guy that, does a Raptor show. Thank you, Matt Bonner, for motivating our young Scott. That was fantastic, man. Yeah. Trevor's saying Darko praise in front office for finding these young players. Yeah. I like that, too, that you mentioned that. There's a lot of praise going every which way. Some people praising Darko. Some people praising Scott. Some people praising the front office. And that was Darko. Darko saying, they asked Darko, it's like, how did the team turn around so quickly like this? Or how did the team do so well with rookies in a high-stakes game like this with you playing so many rookies? We played 79 minutes of rookies yesterday. And this is so valuable, this experience and that kind of environment for people like Shamshay and Jameson and Jonathan and Jamal and Jacoby. All 5 of our rookies played in this game last night. We're part of the rotation. And they didn't look out of place. There was a little bit of time when Shamshay came out and he was playing, and it degenerated with some rookie mistakes around then, but they weren't all by him. It was people like Walter And a couple other guys were making rookie mistakes all of a sudden with Shamshay out there. And I was like, oh man, maybe this is too much rookies in the rotation right this second with Shamshay coming, because he did look green. And there were times where Shamshay looked really kind of not with it with what he was supposed to do. That was that funny moment where Scotty yelled at Shamshay over and over again from underneath the basket, Eagle, Eagle, Eagle. You know why he's doing that, right? Because Eagle is putting your arms up like this. Like Nick used to yell it at them too. And he put the arms up to guard. And Shamshay was holding his arms down when he's trying to guard around the free throw line. And he wasn't connecting that Scotty's yelling at his ass the whole time. And it was like for a while yelling, Eagle, Eagle, Eagle. Man, Scott cares so much, man. Dude, he is absolutely the best franchise face for us. He may be ending up being one of the best franchise faces in the whole entire league soon because of the way he plays and the way he's developing. I'm just saying. It's amazing. Yeah, but Darko gave good praise to the front office for getting rookies that are so capable that they can play in a game in Philadelphia like that last night and help us win. Seriously. So he gave a lot of credit to Bobby Webster and Masai Ujiri. And that was awesome, man. Trevor's saying Oshai cut off Tyrese's water last night. We took it to the Sixers last night. Yeah, that's who was getting credit for Maxi's horrible play. IQ said it himself after the game. He's like, I got to give credit to Oshai. He really locked down Tyrese Maxey last night. I mean, you did a little bit of it too. Let's not be totally modest quickly, because you, against your former Kentucky teammate, you were a part of the contingency that slowed him down and made him have such a bad game too. But Oshai, you want to give him the credit? I know that Darko gave him a lot of credit too. Yeah, he did have a big part of it, but don't be so modest, Emmanuel. You had your switches on him, and you had to help at times when Oshai wasn't there to guard him at times. Overall, I thought the Raptors did a really good job and really difficult defensive assignments. Joel Embiid was contained to a degree, somewhat, by Shamshay, Mobo, and Robinson, which was awesome. It was awesome to see. Shamshay versus Joel was a really cool thing because the Cameroonian connection. And that one moment where, man, Shamshay showed strength. And when he pulled Joel over him, it was kind of like an arm drag in wrestling. And he kind of fell. And then Joel fell on him with all his weight and crushed him. It was horrible. It's like dirty ass Joel. If you hurt Shamshay in any kind of way, you dirty ass motherfucker, I'm gonna be so mad. But Joel looked just as hurt as him, writhing on the ground with his elbow, and Shamshay getting crushed like the man just did a King Kong Bundy splash to him. Yeah, but thankfully both of them were okay. But Joel's not okay. Let's just put it that way. This morning, Danny Green is speculating that he thinks the Sixers need to shut him down right now for the rest of the season, and that's going to happen. I was saying this 2 days ago, wasn't I? That they need to just go ahead and shut him down. Well, professional announcer Danny Green, former Raptor and champion, is saying that now this morning too, echoing what I was saying a couple of days. They need to just shut him down for the season. This season's a wash. This season's stupid. In some ways, you're being risky with him, playing him in a game like last night. He could have gotten hurt a couple different times in some of the things that happened last night with his dumb ass falling all over the place and stupid ass shit. And boy, what a horrible decision at the end of the game to try and dribble up when he had that open three. He was wide open, but he was scared to take that three. It was so weird. And Nick brought it up after the game. He's like, I don't know why he didn't shoot it. He was wide open. He had the option, but he decided he wanted to dribble in. Nick, he play called the three to be shot there. That's what he wanted him to do in that situation. But Joel dribbled up the court and off his back, and Grady had it, and he went the other way. I love it, man. That's a great fail at the end of the game. In some ways, it's like, yeah, look at that in Bozo. Yeah, you get what you get. That's what you get. It's so cool. It was so cool. All right, Fiercey's here. Good morning, fam, and happy back-to-back game day. Scotty and IQ were a joy to watch. Pure chemistry. I think Scotty was told about his offensive effort because he was fire. Yeah, he said Matt Bonner was criticizing him on the TV, and he took it to heart. He said he wanted to show something to Matt Bonner about how he could go to the basket. Let's do the stars of the game. Since MJ has brought it up. Good morning, Eye Candy. Good to see you. All right, so my number one star of the game for the game yesterday, we're doing 5 stars, is Scotty. Obviously, it's Scotty. He's leading scorer, 33 points in 37 minutes on 10 of 16 shooting. So people that were having problems, Scotty admitted it after the game. I have not been having good games lately. I don't think that's true, though, Scott. You're hard on yourself. You should have said, I have not been having good offensive games recently, because it's not true that you haven't been having good games. You've been having fantastic defensive games and team games, but not offensive games. So don't be so hard on yourself. You've had very good games recently. It's just that you didn't do the best scoring and making your shots. So he's 1 for 2 from three. He did make a three last night, which was good. He's had a couple games where he's a goose egg, like against Houston on Sunday from the threes, and he made one. The free throw line was great, 12 of 15, and that's fantastic. Honestly, that's an area where his scoring average could go up. Scotty, you average right around 20 points the last couple years in your career. But if you really started driving like you did last night on a regular basis, you will get your scoring average closer to 25 just from getting the extra point attempts from free throws. So I'm just saying, Scott, that 12 of 15 last night, I hope this becomes more common in the years to come, in the months and years to come. That's right. 10 rebounds for Scotty Barnes last night. 10 rebounds, a double-double, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, only 3 turnovers, a plus 10. Yeah, Scotty, fantastic game, man. That's why I'm repping you today, man. First time I told Scotty I was proud of him was that summer on Twitch, and he said to Raptor Street, Raptor Street, why are you proud of me, man? You don't even know me, man. I was like, dude, I'm proud of you, man, because you're a Raptor, and you're on our team, and I know you're going to be great. That's why I told him I was proud of him. He didn't understand. He's like, why do you be proud of me, man? Why are you proud of me? He's modest. That's why it is. The second star of the game is Manuel Quickley. Manuel Quickley in 34 minutes. He was fantastic. He's ramped up now at full minutes capacity. There's no more minutes restrictions right now. That's pretty much what he's going to play. And it's signified by him playing at the end of the game. In some ways, that was something I was watching for. Are we going to play some crazy young team in the fourth quarter and you going to let them try and win? There was a little bit of brief time in the middle of the fourth quarter where we had a lineup out there that was annoying me because it was like Oshai and the rookies. And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable with this. This game is really close right now, and I don't want to lose the Sixers because we're doing extra development time for these guys. But there was the right balance of bringing back Scotty Quickley in the fourth quarter. I said Scotty Quickley. I meant Quickley in the middle, not Quickley the name, but he quickly came back. He wasn't out for very long in the fourth. I think Scotty sat like a minute in the fourth quarter. He played pretty much the whole fourth quarter, which was fantastic. And Emmanuel did get back in the game to close it out and be a steady, great scorer. Because Emmanuel was, Emmanuel, he was so good. And some of that matchup between Quickley and Maxey, I was really going to pay attention who could win that. And Emmanuel by far beat Maxey last night. I mean, it was crazy. 7 of 11 from the field, 4 of 8 from three. Those 4 3-pointers by Maxey, absolutely key for this game last night. 5 of 5 at the free throw line also. 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, a plus 13 with 23 minutes from IQ. Now, you see IQ healthy and more able to contribute and be in there for the full amount of minutes he's supposed to play. And you see that 1-2 punch of just Scotty and Emmanuel being available. That's only 2 of our 5 starters. And the other 3 guys did not play last night. And that's another thing that Sixers fans should be feeling really worried about. As Blake Murphy said, they bottomed out. They hit their bottom last night against us. I don't know if that's true. I bet you they've had worse bottoms than this season. You might be shocked, Blake. I don't know if this is the bottom out for them. And do you really think they're coming back up from this? I don't think so. The signs of what I saw from the Sixers is they're done for this year. They can talk about, we're going to try and make the play-in. Bullshit. You're not making the play-in. You guys are going to miss the playoffs completely this year. I'm going to say that right now after what happened. And in fact, I want to go for a sweep of these motherfuckers this season. Seriously, the next game against us and the Sixers is going to be March the 12th here in Toronto. And I'll be ready to see a third victory for the Raptors over the Sixers because they are just like that right now. But you see with Emmanuel and Scotty tethered their minutes together again last night. There's a couple of periods in the game where it's a little shaky because neither one of them are on the court. And I get a little nervous. And that happened in the second quarter. And the Sixers did outscore us during that period of time where Scotty and Emmanuel were out, and it's annoying. It bugs me. But that's, you know what? These guys come back. Brandon shows up and makes his debut. RJ and Jakob are back. It shifts some guys to the bench, and our bench gets more capable and a little bit more veteran from people like Oshai and them going to the bench. So that'll be better for that. But yeah, I love seeing the growth of Emmanuel working with Scott. And they really do kind of take turns being the point guard out there. Not every time Emmanuel's being the point guard. Scotty's very much being the point guard out there on alternating kind of trips down the court. The third star of the game is Oshai Agbaji. Agbaji, exemplary defense on Tyrese Maxey, which I already noted. But also, he did a good job with adding some points for the team, too. 27 minutes, Oshai was 5 of 10 from the field. He was 1 of 3 from three, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, plus 8 with 11 points. That's not the most illustrious box score, but it is. I'm factoring in the fantastic job he did on such a dangerous offensive weapon called Tyrese Maxey. So we have to give him that. There's also some plays that he did in this game last night that were so top notch. There was a one play where Orlando Robinson was guarding Joel at the 3-point line, and he was up on him, and he just tipped the ball away from Joel to get it loose. But Oshai telegraphed it, and he ran just perfectly to get the ball from Joel, who was about to recover it, but he got it away from it, and then he ran just fast enough to get down the court and avoid Joel blocking him coming at the basket. That was top level basketball IQ play because, first of all, Oshai had to recognize that the ball was getting jarred loose by O-Rob, and then he had to put in the absolute burst of effort to get to the ball quick enough to beat Joel to getting to recover it. That was so good. That was so good. That play was like, I was like, wow, Oshai's really smart. He saw that happening and he went and got it. And the effort was amazing. In fact, that effort shown by Ochai Agbaji on getting that steal completed and running that down and laying it up is a huge reason why we beat the Sixers. Because they're a lazy ass team that's not trying and they're not playing together as a team. Well, basketball world and philosophy says you don't play like a team. The other team plays like a team. You lose. You don't play all out and try and do what you're supposed to do on the court to win, and you play lazy, you lose. And that's the lesson for the Sixers last night. You don't play as a team, and you don't play like play all out and effort. Well, the other team's going to beat you, even if you're more talented. That's just the day. That's just the way it is. That's why talent don't win in the NBA, y'all. Work wins in the NBA. You can stack your team with all the talent in the world, but if these guys are lazy and they don't want to do things, Lakers, you're going to lose still, is what I'm going to say right there. You're going to lose still. I don't care how talented you are. You're going to be lazy. You're going to lose. That's right. My fourth star of the game is Grady Dick. Grady Dick had a pretty good shooting game. He was athletic. He was active. He was out there being a threat. Grady did the split it down the middle move again in the first half last night. He's done it twice. He's been unsuccessful both times. The time he did it last night, he wanted the call from Ed Malloy, but Ed Malloy and them were swallowing the whistle last night. In some ways, I like it. Because two things, there's less stoppages of play so that the game can continue to go on. If they're too touchy with the whistle, I think this is part of what Adam Silver and the referees have been, the head of the referees have been talking to them. Y'all can make the games shorter and with less stoppages of play if y'all aren't calling the whistles all the time. And it's smart. In some ways, it's like, but they're letting them play very physical. And there's times when people like Grady will go to the basket and there's just ignored. And Grady was yelling at the refs early in the game for no calls that weren't getting called. Well, I don't mind that as long as they're calling it fair both ways and we can have contact and hit them when they're going to the basket too. And there was a lot of that too. So it wasn't bad. The swallowing the whistle, I get worried when I know they're doing that during the game because I was worried in the fourth quarter, all of a sudden, mysteriously, the whistle will get tight. And then all of a sudden they're calling weird fouls. They're real touch fouls that they did not call the whole entire damn game. And they let them play all out. And that's kind of the weird red light, green light of playing in the NBA with the referees increasing the touchiness about when they call fouls or not. Because in this game, they were very much not calling a lot of stuff and a lot of extracurriculars and things were happening that probably would have been called in the past or either by other ref crews. So I can get mad at that. In some ways, I'm mad for Grady because he's not getting the respect to go in the line. But Scotty seems to be getting the respect to go in the line now all of a sudden, which I love. That's a good sign. Yeah, Grady, 33 minutes, 6 of 13 from the field, 3 of 8 from the three-point land. I liked him getting multiple threes. In some ways, Grady's been either getting 0 threes, 1 3, 2 threes. Well, getting 3 threes, that's really good. 2 of 3 at the free throw line. In fact, his missed free throw came late, and it was really dumb. It was like, Grady, this is crunch time. You could ice this game and make this a 4-point margin, but he missed the first free throw, and it was only a 3-point margin, and that's a danger of them hitting a 3 to put it in overtime on the road. You don't want to do that. So, man, that free throw was so important. Luckily, it didn't matter, and you ended up, getting the win anyway. But Grady, oh, my gosh, when you missed that first free throw at the end, when you stole the ball from Joel, man, I was like, oh my God, Grady, you're so much better than this. But there's a lesson from that. You missed it, but we still got okay because of it. 4 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers, a +5 for Grady Dick, 17 points in 33 minutes. He'll be posting that on his Instagram later. Trust me. Yeah, Grady, I'm proud of you guys. My stars are all pretty much the starters because our bench wasn't that great, honestly. The starters carried, and specifically Scotty and Emmanuel, because they between the two of them, they had 56 points of our 106 points. So you do the math. They scored more than half of our points. Yeah. 56 points of 106. That means 50 points for the rest of the team. So Scotty and Emmanuel carried. And we only had 4 guys in double digits last night. So my fifth star does not have double digits, but it's Jonathan Mobo. Jonathan was the fifth starter, and he did a exemplary job against Joel Embiid. In some ways, this is so weird for Scotty and Jonathan. You know, like I said, they were pajamas buddies that ate snacks and watched cartoons since like grade school. And in some ways, there'll be different times where they may talk about their dreams. Man, well, I'm gonna be in the NBA one day. I want to play against Kobe. I want to play against Paul George. Yeah, they talking like that with their kids. Well, they're living their dreams because that man was guarding Embiid last night, and Scotty had to guard Paul George. And those kind of things mean something. And Scotty, after the game, was so proud of Jonathan. He said, I'm so proud of Jonathan playing against Embiid and holding his own last night because they did a really good job, honestly. If you told me that our centers would be Orlando Robinson, journeyman who's just barely in the league, Jonathan Mobo, a draft pick out of San Francisco in the second round, and Ulrich Shamshe, the youngest player in the NBA right now, who's just came from Africa. And we were going to beat Joel Embiid with that center contingency to go up against him. I would have said, man, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. But no, they did a good job. In some ways, it was really kind of interesting to see Shamshe against Embiid because in some ways that is really kind of an interesting, there's a lot to that. Let's just put it that way. But Jonathan was fantastic. He was a jack of all trades. He was contributing in all-around glue way, just like Scotty. And in some ways, totally capable and did it well enough to slow down the big man for them, Joel Embiid. Yeah, Jonathan, 21 minutes, 2 of 4 from the field, missed his only 3-point attempt. Good. I'm glad you only took 1 instead of 6. Try 1. If you don't make it, don't shoot another one for the rest of the game. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, a +11 for Jonathan with only 4 points. But the tail for him is with Joel. Joel on the other side was 8 of 19 with 27 points and 12 rebounds. He did get good production, and he's really tough to stop. I'm gonna say this about Joel's move. It's the same as Tatum. When Tatum beat us in that game where he did the little jab step to make the 3, and then they looked at it later and they said, "Oh, it's an offensive foul." He should have been called for an offensive foul on the push off when he made that buzzer beater to beat us in that one Boston game the first time we played him this year. Well, Joel's move that he's been doing at the free throw line, it's the same damn thing. He pushes off. That's a foul. That's a foul. He pushes people away and then he shoots the shot. And they don't call it because he's a superstar. But yeah, that's totally a cheap ass move and a dirty move. And it should be an offensive foul every time he does it. We'll go over the rest of the team from the bench. We did have 6 bench players last night. It's interesting. Everybody getting in there except for Garrett Temple that was available. Chris Boucher, bad game. 15 minutes, 0 for 6. He missed all of his shots. He missed all 3 of his 3-point attempts, but he did get 3 offensive rebounds, 8 rebounds altogether, 1 assist, 1 turnover, a -7. Yeah, it's just not normal that Chris isn't going to make any shots, but hey, he's human. He's been very hot from 3 most of this year, so I'll allow it. It is okay, and you know it is what it is. It was cool to see him kind of over there. I guess that was the last game. He was talking to Fred. He came over and talked to Fred in the middle of the game. He's standing on the baseline. Fred's on their bench. He probably talked to Kyle a little bit last night too. You know, it is what it is. Jamison Battle came in for 9 minutes, 1 of 3 from 3, made 1 3-pointer, 1 rebound, -1. I like seeing Battle getting more minutes. He's got to feel more confident now that he has a full contract, and he's got the contract for Jamison is really good. It's like $5 million for 3 years. So this guy's not going to be a huge hit on us, and we got him locked in at these non-guaranteed minimums. And you know what? He's going to continue to grow. I'm really expecting Jamison to become more and more of a solid contributor to us. And this is really, really smart GMing by Bobby Webster, locking down Jamison Battle. The fact that Jamison had a path from last year coming to our summer league from Ohio State, to where he's at right now just shows that there is a way to make the NBA in this league if you do things right, like Jamison Battle has in this last year. Orlando Robinson was fantastic also defensively against Joel, just trying to stop him, but his offense is ugly. UGLY. Your offense has got no alibi, Orlando Robinson. In some ways, you are missing bunnies. There was some open shots. You were messing up Jamal Shedd's assists because you weren't converting on beautiful passes he'd given you. And somebody's like, oh my gosh, Orlando, please work on your around the basket making shots. Forget about the threes. I just need you to do that. And then at some point, when he kept missing, he just got mad and ran at the basket and threw it down hard in a real good drive. And I was like, yeah, that's it right there. That's it. Now you figured it out. That's what you should do when you get to the point where you're missing bunnies and you're not making shots and you have such close shots. Maybe it's because Joel's getting your way. But man, that drive to the basket when he threw it down, that was a frustration dunk from missing too much. And Orlando was 2 for 4 from the field, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, +4 with 4 points. Fantastic. And Shamshay, 12 minutes, 0 for 2. He didn't score last night. And like I said, he looked a little bit like a deer in headlights. In some ways, he had to pinch himself. He's playing against the great Joel Embiid from his country. And also that you got to understand that Wells Fargo Arena is a different kind of environment than a G League environment with the crowd and the way it is. And you know what? I swear I saw Nins on the screen last night. I'm serious. There was an angle that was shooting down the end of the bench of the Raptors, and I saw a guy in a purple, it was a City Edition jersey with a black hoodie on. I swear it was Nins. Nins, if you're here, I'm pretty sure I saw you on the TV for a split second. I did see you. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Shamshay, 0 points, a -12, the worst plus-minus on the team. But you know what? You threw him in the fire. He got good development. He got good experience. He got he all that stuff, and we still won. Hey, that's winning. That's winning. Winning and development. Development and winning. That's what I said yesterday in the morning. Can we get that Venn diagram to circle around winning and development and put them in the same game? Well, they did it. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Jamal Shedd off the bench as the backup point guard, 17 minutes, 3 of 5 from the field, misses only 3. 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, -10 with 6 points. Jamal and Emmanuel were on the court together at times, and that little 2-guard lineup, well, maybe it got Nick Nurse a little nostalgic. But yeah, it was kind of cool to see Emmanuel and Jamal out there together at the same time. I kind of like that old look in games like last night. It kind of works. Jacoby, mix of good and bad. 2 of 8 from the field, 20 minutes. 1 of 4 from 3. That 3 that he hit late was key. Grady and Jacoby hit some very important 3-pointers in the middle of the fourth quarter to keep our head above water and beat in the Sixers. The Sixers just aren't very good, and we were better than them, and we need to beat them. But it was dangerous because the game was so close, and we're in Philly, so we needed people to carry. And the clutch ability of Grady and Jacoby is showing that these guys are going to be in high-pressure situations. They're not afraid to make big shots in the fourth quarter when the Raptors need them the most. And Jacoby Walters' fourth quarter 3 was huge. It was a huge key 3 for us in a very important moment. 3 offensive rebounds for Jacoby also, 5 rebounds altogether, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover, 5 points for Jacoby. But that 3 he hit in the fourth was very key. Very, very key. Yeah, I'm very proud of them. I'm very, very proud of them. You look at the other side, you see Maxey only got 5 points, and he was a -15, and he had 4 turnovers and only 3 assists. Yeah, that was a horrible game for Maxey. In fact, I was like wondering, what is Maxey doing? Why is he so bad right now? Because he hasn't been this bad recently. This is like the worst game he's had all season. And I'm wondering why, because he has been on fire for most of the month. Is it because he was playing Emmanuel? Is there something weird like where him and Emmanuel or something? I don't know. Maybe on the down low, Maxey's like, I'm going to make you look good. Listen, IQ, bro, I love you, man. In some ways, like Philadelphia sucks right now. Joel's an idiot. Paul George didn't work out, and Nick Nurse is pissing everybody off. You know what? I don't care anymore. I want to make you look good. I love you, man. So I'm going to kind of be shitty today and make you look real good, Emmanuel, because I know you've been hurt all year. Oh, thanks, Tyrese. That's so nice of you, man. Yeah, did that conversation happen before the game? Because it seemed like Tyrese, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't say stuff like this, but I'm just saying he made Emmanuel look real good yesterday. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, the rest of the guys on the team, they had some weird rookie guy start for them named Justin Edwards. I'd never seen him before in my life. That's how bad it is with them. Kelly Oubre out there doing some stat stuff and doing some good things for them. It's kind of fun to see Yabusele in an NBA game. And of course, he is not him, was in the game. And I could have thought that Nick Nurse was going to put it on Quentin Grimes to come at Scotty Barnes. And you don't you remember when he said that to you in that game? I was coaching. Yeah, I was coaching Scotty. You is not him. Yeah, I was thinking is Quentin Grimes going to try and do some sort of revenge against Scotty Barnes for that incident. Of course, I forgot that Quentin Grimes had played with RJ and Emmanuel at that time. So Emmanuel knew Quentin Grimes. In some ways, he was talking trash to him himself. And then Ricky Council had a council vote, the Ricky Council the fourth, and they voted to shoot the shot at the end of the half with a really bad shot. Well, that was a unanimous vote by Ricky Council. Yeah, going over the box score. Let's get back to the chat and see what y'all are saying. Good morning, Fiercey. Always good to see you. She's saying, once again, it was a great developmental exercise for the rookies. Learning to play against a big three in crunch time. Kudos to Darko and the coaching staff. Hostile environment, all kinds of stuff. I want to give a lot of praise to Philadelphia, though, right now for a couple of things. I really appreciate the Philadelphia crowd for being respectful during the anthems today. There's a lot of weird stuff going on between Canada and the U.S., and it's Trump's fault. And I feel like I'm feeling that on the download, the brotherly love from Philadelphia yesterday. So if you are any Philly fans that are here watching me to see my recap right now, I appreciate you guys for being respectful to our sovereign country as far as in this situation with this really uncomfortable bullshit that the president is doing right now. And I really appreciate, because the Philly crowd is really can be crazy. I love Philadelphia crowds, honestly, because of ECW. I'm an ECW fan, and Philadelphia was the best city for ECW. And I know those people have done things to Santa Claus at football games, and they're very crazy fan base. They're very passionate, but they were very happy. They're on a high because of the Eagles. The Sixers pissed them off, and they did boo them at the end of the game. But thank you for being respectful during the anthems. And then also, I appreciate y'all's playlist. Holy crap! In-game ops for the Wells Fargo Arena was on fire last night with It's Automatic and Freaks Come Out at Night and Rock Creek Park. Doing it in the dark, doing it in the park, Rock Creek Park, Rock Creek Park. Man, the songs that they had playing in the middle of the game was like on fire. I love that shit. That's one of my favorite genres of music, the stuff they were playing during the game last night at Philly. So a couple kudos for the crowd and the in-game ops for the arena. Yeah, I was really enjoying the grooves. Some of the songs didn't fit while they were trying to play, and there was like weirdness. I was like, okay, maybe not that one, but most of them were hitting right. And they were like a nostalgia burst at me. I was like, damn, It's Automatic. Like all that stuff is like, it's just so good, man. It's just so good. I love that genre, man. I love that genre. All right, let's keep going in the chat. Let's see what else people are saying here. Let's see. Fiercely saying Masai and the front office are geniuses. The signing of BI the same week he was traded. Oh, yes. This is an amazing sign that he is fitting in so quickly. That, I was shocked yesterday when I heard that this extension happened for Brandon. It's not supposed to happen right now. In some ways, this is amazingly good. I'm just going to say that. It's good for a bunch of reasons. Now, Josh Lewenberg was doing a little bit of chicken sky is falling kind of thing, chicken littling. Doug Smith being very much the voice of reason yesterday. Thank you, Doug Smith. I'm going to give you kudos, Doug Smith, for telling everybody it's not your money. Why are you upset about it? It's the Raptors' money, and they're going to spend it, and they're going to do what they're going to do. Coming against fans who are saying they're spending too much money. Oh, stuff is like, listen, I get it. The economics of today are crazy. And seeing that kind of money going towards somebody is just not realistic to think for everyday people. But this is the league, and this is the money it generates. And Brandon is on a deal, y'all. Seriously, this is really good. I was thinking that he was going to get $43 million a year average, but he got exactly 40 a year. And this is fantastic. It fits so good. And as Blake Murphy came out with his updated salary cap thing with the new deal that Brandon just did, and we have leeway and we have breathing room to do all kinds of stuff and still stay under the luxury tax. It's just masterful GM work by Bobby Webster. Masterful. This man really is badass at what he does. And there's all kinds of different cogs and things are going on in it. Little moves and little things that people don't perceive. Now, I want to say this. This is really interesting because Brandon had all the leverage in the summer, and he gave it all up to be with us and commit to us. This is a really good sign. One of the biggest chicken littling things that some of these media people are going to try and do, we're going to be, well, we got Brandon, but will we re-sign him? Will we re-sign him? They're going to do this shit for like 4 months until the free agency period this summer. They're going to do this. Grange and Lewinberg. Will they be able to re-sign him? Will they be able to re-sign him? Well, there's your answer, motherfuckers. Yesterday. Yeah, they can re-sign him. They already got him extended all the way to 2028. He's going to be a Raptor now. And that price is good, y'all. I'm telling you right now, this contract's going to look really good down the road. And this is amazing. I'm so happy about this. It really shows a commitment that both sides are very much taking to each other well. Seriously, Bobby and Masai could have waited and done this. Brandon didn't have to do this. In some ways, this took away some of his leverage against the Raptors to be able to negotiate a crazy deal. He's a team player. And they're like, if this is inevitable, it feels so right, why don't we just do it now? You know, Bobby said last week in the press conference, we're in the same ballpark, but I can't tell you exactly what's going on. Well, they were really in the same ballpark because they went and met at home plate, and he slid into home to get that extension contract right there. Boom goes the dynamite. It's a beautiful thing. Our front office is working, y'all. Working. And that's what work looks like. That extension signed yesterday. And Fiercey, did you see that in the announcement, they announced that Rich Paul's Clutch negotiated the deal? Yeah, they don't talk about the trade because they didn't have nothing to do with it. But they did have something to do with negotiating the extension. Clutch negotiating with Bobby Webster to get Brandon Ingram that contract. In fact, the Clutch guys were sitting on the bench together for a while last night. I noticed Brandon sitting with Ulrich, talking to him about the game and kind of going back and forth. I'll bet you they do kind of know each other from being Clutch family. And that's a good thing for Ulrich because, you know, Brandon's going to be a good mentor for a lot of people on this team in different ways. And, you know, it's good for Brandon. Man, I got to wonder what is going on in Brandon's head right now. He's got to be giddy. He's got to be giddy. You know what? Let's go look at the Instagram stories. That may tell me what's going on in Brandon's head. Let's go look at it because that might tell me exactly what's going on with Brandon Ingram's head. Yeah, he's posted outro from Neek Bucks. And it's a song. It's got a burning heart on the screen, and it's a song about like change and changing scenery and kind of sad leaving the past, but excited for the future. And that's where he's at right there. I mean, what is not to like, Brandon? You got Dr. Alex who's going to help you stay healthier than you ever have in your career. You've got Scotty Barnes, a fantastic glue guy who in some ways will allow you to be able to be who you are. You got a fantastic front office. You got a coach that's inspiring, that is also a genius with offense, and he's got all kinds of great ideas. And you just saw your new team beat the Sixers in Wells Fargo in a very satisfying win last night. Yeah, what's not to like? He just got saved from New Orleans, and in some ways, Brandon Ingram's going to come save us to a degree with some of our needs also as a team. So, man, what's not to like about this? And he's already involved in a lot of the Raptors' social media stuff. And, you know, Matt Devlin's talking about it last night on the broadcast. There's a couple of nicknames out there for him. We'll have to see what sticks. So he's the one who decides. Matt, you know you decide this. So you figure out what they like from inside and what the Raptors want, and you go ahead and broadcast it, and you make it bona fide because you're the one who makes those nicknames bona fide. Nobody else has that power other than Matt Devlin. I'm sorry. He's the play-by-play announcer for the Raptors. He's going to be the one who's going to yell, Notorious BI3! You know, we'll have to see what he settles on. But, Matt, you can already tell the wheels are turning because he said it in the game last night. He said, we've got a couple of nicknames we're working with right now. If you're thinking about Kingram of the North, Matt Devlin, if you're listening to me this morning. I don't know. There's going to be a couple of them out there. Brokeback Stunner. Eugene Omeroy's got Tyler Perry on Oprah Winfrey talking, my life got so much better when I let people be who they are. Yeah, that's the problem. You can get in trouble with being upset with people because you expect them to do things and be a certain way for you, but they are who they are, and you can't expect that. And in some ways, the more you accept people for who they are and what they are, the easier it is for you. In some ways, this has to do with the serenity prayer for me in AA. Is that, listen, I can't control other people, what their actions going to be and what they're going to do. I can control what I do myself in relation to that. But that's what I'm saying. The root of misery can be disappointment and wanting somebody to be something that they're not. And that's never going to change. So, yeah, I like that message by Eugene Omeroy. And hopefully you're going to be playing at 11 o'clock this morning because I need to see you back in the 905 jersey helping them win because we're going to be short-staffed there. And we definitely need Canadian Eugene Omoruyi, Canadian Draymond back in the lineup. That's what I'm saying. Scotty Barnes has a picture of him and Jalen Green from after the game the other night. It's very probable that on Jalen's birthday that they watched the Super Bowl together because it was divulged by the announced crew yesterday or that they didn't arrive in Philadelphia till Monday. So they did stay the night in Houston, and it's very likely that they had a Super Bowl party kind of soiree among the team. And who knows, maybe Scotty was hanging with Jalen during the Super Bowl also. But he's wearing that fit he came in on with the nice tie. Scotty's getting influenced by Garrett with his clothing. In some ways, I can tell Scotty's trying to show some professionalism, even with his very dynamic sense of style, because he's wearing ties incorporated into what he's wearing in his fits coming in. So it's interesting. It's very interesting, but nice to see the brothers, Jalen Green and Scotty Barnes, friends for a long time now. And yeah, they were hanging out after the game the other night. Grady Dick coming in the game with his fit. He's wearing a toque and some baggy pants. And well, Grady looks like he's floating, like one of his 3-point shots floating into the basket. That's right. There you go. Grady, we love you, man. And what a good job. You getting highlights in so many games this year. You know what I'm saying right this now? Like, where's Paul B? Paul B, we need a Grady Dick mixtape this year. If we could get all the good Grady Dick crazy-ass dunks and plays from this year, that tape's going to be badass. Because in some ways, Grady Dick's had some of the best highlights this year. I'm not going to lie, seriously, on some of the stuff he's been doing with alley-oops and throwing it down and stuff. But that steal on Embiid, he's got it right here at the end of the game. Very key. Loose ball, grabbing the ball. That's effort. That's being on top of things and getting it going. Man, the Sixers fans were so mad at that moment. And they booed the hell out of the Sixers at the end of the game. That's hilarious. There's Kelly Olynyk in his brand new uniform, New Orleans Pelicans. It looks weird. Kelly's going to wear number 13 for the New Orleans Pelicans, apparently. It's weird, man. I mean, we still see him in these commercials for Bar Burrito. He's coming in. He's like, I work in the building with this guy. Well, maybe only once a year you work with him now, Kelly. You don't work in the same building with that guy anymore. Well, at least the other commercials are with Grady, too. But it's interesting. You know, Kelly's a Canadian star for Team Canada, so he can be in all the Canadian commercials still. He's a Raptor, even if he's a Pelican. That's right. That's fine. That's fine. Slim Duck has got some guy talking on some sort of thing about, like, I guess his partner didn't address him as being her boyfriend anymore. And he's like, oh, I guess I'm single now. Something like that. Toronto Tempo gear all over the place. Somebody actually knit this amazing sweater of Toronto Tempo. We kind of saw the pictures of it before, but they knit a first version of a jersey sweater for the Toronto Tempo. And it's beautiful. This young lady put the work in. There's all kinds of cool creativity already coming out of Toronto Tempo existing, and the team hasn't even got any players, no coach, and there's already creative people, artists doing stuff off of inspiration of the first WNBA team for Canada. This is fantastic, man. Obsessed is an understatement. There you go. They wanted to make a Toronto Tempo sweater, and they did. And it's cool, man. I like it. Tempo gear everywhere. Let's go, Toronto Tempo. I'm a Tempo fan. I'm Tempo freak, y'all. We're going to be a Tempo freak soon. That's right. RJ Barrett is very proud of his team, even though he didn't play last night. 106-103 over the Sixers. He's got a picture of Scotty throwing it down on Kelly Oubre's head. You know, RJ's got to feel good. You know, honestly, Emmanuel and RJ, they know the Eastern Conference battles from being on the Knicks, and they know beating the Sixers is a good accomplishment that everybody should love, just like the Celtics. There's RJ in practice before the game in his hoodie. Yeah, he was putting up shots before the game. He looks healthy. There's nothing wrong with RJ, y'all. He just couldn't play because the doctors couldn't let him play because of the concussion protocol rules. And, well, he's off those protocols as of last night, and he will be playing tonight. I'm going to tell you right now, RJ's going to play tonight. He will be there. Let's see. The open gym director has got a picture of Brandon Ingram coming in the game in his fit, wearing a yellow hoodie. And he looks not aloof or anything. He's just like, he's coming in, man. Brandon's going to be so interesting, man. I see there's a new episode of To The Point with Skip and the King. Skip has returned to his show with Brian, and they're doing the Brandon Ingram trade and talking about it. And Skip actually really likes the trade. He said a couple weeks ago he didn't think it would be good, but now that he thinks about it more deeply, he's like, it's fantastic for the Raptors getting Brandon Ingram. It's fantastic. Now, in some ways, he was still endorsing tanking for the rest of the year. And I got to give Brian King some real credit for going at him for that. He kind of said some of the things I say on this channel, but I appreciate Brian echoing the anti-tank sentiment on his TV show, on his show To the Point. Y'all check it out on YouTube. To the Point, you know Brian. He's always in the chat here with us, King. Good night, good afternoon, good night, dude, good morning. To the point. Matt Devlin's got the announce crew on blast. Him and Jack and Kayla. Kayla looking nice in her fit. And they're just happy people, man. Happy people. Matt Devlin, you're fantastic. You know, last night, Matt Devlin, you sang a little snippet of Lionel Richie's All Night Long. And I'm wondering, are you watching me? Because I might be rubbing off on you. And you're singing more old school songs. And you and Jack are kind of like, oh, that's going to be, that just dated you, man. Nobody's going to know who Lionel Richie, all night long, all night, all night, all night long, all night. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I love that song. Hey, you sing more of it, Matt Devlin, please. I know maybe you can't hit those notes like I just did, but you know, I love it. I love the forays into little bits of singing, not just Jack doing the Christmas songs around Christmas, but Matt Devlin, you want to keep doing a little old throwback like Lionel Richie's All Night Long. You go ahead, man. You get it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. SGA on his Instagram looking tough in an ad. He's getting these. I don't know what's going on there. Sound check, SGA plush. All right, that's interesting. And then the Raptors have something weird coming up. And I have no idea what the hell this is, man. They had some sort of thing come out yesterday, and there's a phone ringing. And it's a weird shaped like object. I would say it looks like an egg. And it's saying something like, it's coming and you want to know what it is, sign up now or something like that. It's some sort of weird mystery raptor thing going on. It made me think of Mork and Mindy. It's like, is this the egg that Mork from Ork came down to Earth and met Pam Dauber, Mindy? Mork calling Orson. Mork calling Orson. See, I'm doing what Matt Devlin's doing. I'm doing an old reference that nobody's going to know. But yeah, that's what this egg makes me feel like. Like, what is this egg, Raptors? What is this mystery egg? And it's coming. And the phone's ringing in it. What is it? What is it? Y'all are weird, man, with your weird mystery egg. I don't know. Is it a Kinder egg? What's inside that egg? Is there a baby raptor in that egg? Is this going to be like the raptor when he hatched, when the team started? What is the egg, man? I want to know. Y'all are building some excitement about this egg. What the hell is it? What's going on there? What is going on with that egg? We're going to find out soon enough, I'm sure. Yeah, that's pretty much the Instagram stories. There's highlights of the game and the warm-up and the fantastic win over the Sixers last night. Fantastic stuff. 3-point win. I got about 45 minutes still on the chat. Let's go. 11 o'clock. There will be a Raptors 905 game starting, so I'll be getting out of here by then. That's right. Yeah, there you go. Big three in crunch time. Kudos to Darko and the coaching staff. Listen, Darko haters, y'all understand when a new coach comes in, they have to establish the way that their system's going to be and build culture and build connection and build trust and relationships with the players and himself and his coaching staff. And he has done this so successfully over 2 years. So much change. So many different players that played for the Raptors in the last 2 years that Darko has coached. And you guys got to think about how he's held the unity and the effort and the professionalism of this team through this whole entire thing. You know, Darko giving credit to the front office for bringing good players here is part of it, yes. But also Darko being that very central figure. And I think that in the game last night, it's exemplified in the feelings and vibes of the team we played last night and the feelings and vibes of our team. That our record's worse than their team. But are our guys in the place that those guys are with the Sixers? No. And that is credit for our coach. Seriously. And that is detriment to our former coach. Trust me. Because in some ways, you know what? I don't know the Sixers are this bad if Darko's coaching them. Think about that brain exercise. Flip it and put Darko in with the Sixers. How would his vibes and his personality and his connections and keeping everybody on the same page, how would that work in that situation? That situation's toxic. It may not be much better, but I would like to think that maybe the diplomacy of Darko Rajakovic would fit in that environment. Not that I want him to go coach the Sixers better than Nick to try and smooth things over and make things better. Because it is really a stark difference between the things I've been saying today about the Sixers and the Raptors as far as team vibes, as far as effort, as far as team playing together. Because the Sixers don't play together. And they're weird as fuck. They should be way better At the beginning of the season, I looked at their roster and I was like, with Yabusele coming in at the last second, this team is badass. I actually kind of like the makeup of the team, but I was so wrong. That team was not going to make it up and do well. The biggest failure of this season is the Sixers. The Sixers are absolutely the biggest failure of this entire NBA season right now. This is just the damn truth. They were expected to do so much more this year with Paul George coming there, and they have failed. And, Nick Nurse brought it up at the beginning before the game. It's like part of it is because we've had key players miss like not just a couple games, but like 20 game stretches. I get all that. You had that kind of stuff here in Toronto too. No, it's worse than just that. Don't just blame the injuries. There's something wrong with your team, Nick. And in some ways, you might be in trouble for your job, is what I'm saying right now. Fiercely saying Messiah and the front office are geniuses. The signing of BI the same week of the trade. Oh, yeah. I think I already read that one. Let's see. Fiercely saying rough night for Maxey. He's been carrying the team, so I guess he gets a pass. The combined stats for the big three of Philly was no bueno. They were collectively garbage. Yeah, in the first half, I was really saying Paul George is a cardio merchant this game. He's not done jack shit in this game. Is really, I don't know. Are we guarding him that well? Is that what it is? The Raptors defense was a key thing in this. We were very on top of things and not letting them have anything easy. Well, that made it hard for the Sixers. So our defense was fantastic last night. There was some really good holding them off from getting any good shots by a collective work of 5 guys on the court in Raptors jerseys. So I'm very, very proud of that. That was a big part of why Maxey was so bad. Joel got his. He's going to get his. He's a certain talent like that. And then Paul George showed up and chipped in some stuff. And I know Monique in the chat on Facebook was scared because she was saying, oh, no, don't let Paul George get hot in the fourth and try and come back and win this game for them. But no, he didn't. He wears Waldo'd himself as he normally does. Where's Waldo? Well, there's a picture of him dressed as Waldo for Halloween. Just go ahead and put that up for Sixers fans this morning. Where's Waldo? Where's Paul George? Well, he's not there to help you win. That's for damn sure. That's right. Tristan Trace saying the Raptors are the best team in the league. Okay. I think we're the best franchise in some ways because we're excellent and we have such good people in certain key positions that absolutely matter for a franchise. And I'll tell you, from the top down, that is where it starts. The top of our franchise with Masai Ujiri. And it goes from there. Dr. Alex is the absolute best at what he does in this league too. So, we have a couple of key people that really do make us one of the best teams in the league on the down low. Even if our record isn't that good, we are definitely one of the better organizations. And you could probably ask Brandon Ingram about that, and he'll tell you the differences real quick. Trevor J saying Ulrich's block on Joel. It was nice. Yeah, that was cool. It was very, very cool. I like how he didn't shy away from Embiid. In some ways, this is really good because he's so young. He's only 19. And, he could be very scared or kind of scared because like Joel is a hero back in his home country. I don't know if he is totally, but he's a legend in some ways. I don't know if he's a hero because he wanted to play for USA, but, Shamshay could have gotten starstruck. But the thing is that Shamshay has worked around Joel and they've interacted before being from the same country. And so he's probably familiar with them to a degree on some level. There could have been some point where they worked out with each other. Maybe not. I don't know. But either way, he didn't back down from him. And the physicality that he showed with him was great. The other person I was really happy with how he was guarding Joel, and it really showed the growth of him in his career, is this guy. This guy had to guard Joel at times. And, a couple of years ago when we were playing them in the playoffs, that was not part of the ideas at all. It was Precious was getting that assignment for us. And, Scotty can guard Joel also. That's the amazing thing about Scotty. He can guard Tyrese, he can guard Paul, and he can guard Joel. And he did an okay job. Once again, Scotty doing stuff on defense that looks like Tim Duncan to me. I'm telling you, man, the block shots and the way he's getting blocks near the rim in recent games is so Tim Duncan. That is like Tim Duncan calling card kind of stuff. And he really gets after it. And because he can cover so much ground so quickly and he's fast and he's putting that effort out there. Man, Scotty's so good on defense. His talk about wanting to be one of the best defenders in the league, it's starting to happen right now. I mean, he said that as a rookie and he was on a team with OG. And in some ways you could get overshadowed by Anunoby for defense, but not anymore. If OG was on this team still, I'd be saying Scotty's the best defender on our team now. Seriously, if OG was still on our team right now and doing what OG does normally, I'd say Scotty's a better defender than him right now. Seriously, I'm not joking around when I say that. James is saying that love the ISO Scotty move on Embiid. That's the next step for him. Yeah, there was a move where he shot right over him late in the game with confidence and made it. Yeah, that was the key basket that helped us. And that's the thing, man. He's showing a lot more confidence with his shot, and he did it the right way. The shooting percentage was very good last night, and that means he was going to the basket first and not being lazy and just taking threes more and not trying to attack. I think that he might have learned something last night that's not good for this league for the rest of the league. Is that this dude found out, well, Matt Bonner told me I can't drive the basket. Well, I'm going to show him. Wow, that was kind of fun. Look at how many free throws I got. And I got 33 points, just too shy of my career high. Maybe I should start doing this more often. Yeah, you should, Scott. You want to start doing that way, going to the basket and driving like that more often in games? Sign me up. I'll sign it. Yeah, I like that. I like that too. Yeah, James is saying he's best near the basket. He should play his strengths. I agree. I think he can do it all, and he should keep them guessing. It's important for him to make the threes also, because in the NBA, that is something in a lot of ways that is important in certain ways. You know, there were problems at times when Ulrich out on the court with the Sixers defense. They were not respecting Shamshe, and they could double up in different areas more because Shamshe was a weak link on defense in the game last night. So in some ways, it is important for Scott to have that 3-point shot to keep him as a threat, and them have to keep him respected for that. So it's nice to see Scott take the threes, but I agree. I don't know how you cut it down the line, James. I'd say maybe you say 4 out of 5 times he's inside. Maybe that 5th shot is a 3. That maybe, I don't know. Darko does want volume from 3-point shots, and he said earlier in the season he wants Scott to take 12 3-point shots a game. So it's not that he has a red light from the coach. He wants him to shoot more and more, but he's got to temper it and mix it in. And I agree with you. The more he goes inside, it's higher percentage. And honestly, he's really got to work on that more, because his conversion rate's already really good. But there is a certain level of him missing those shots that he needs to practice and perfect and get better and better so the percentage goes up. Nako's here. Good to see you, Gerald. Nick Nurse talking like he's about to get hired by Dallas. What? Is that what he was saying? You think they're going to hire him as Dallas coach? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, Jason Kidd's pretty liked there. He really loved by Mark Cuban. Man, there's some crazy stuff going on with the crowd at Dallas. They were throwing a lot of people out in the game because people were yelling, fire Nico, and holding up signs. And a lot of people were getting thrown out of the Dallas game for code of conduct. There were particular fans that were sitting near Mark Cuban at courtside, and they would not leave him alone the whole game. They were on him saying, you need to fire Nico. You need to fire Nico. Fire the GM. Fire the GM. And they would not let him watch the game. And Mark Cuban stood up and said, shut the fuck up. I'm just trying to watch the game. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get what's going on there. And then there was other incident that happened this week in the crowd with Bradley Beal's family, where it's similar to the Russell Westbrook thing that happened in LA a couple years ago, where a fan is mad at Bradley Beal because he didn't waive his no trade clause and they didn't get Jimmy Butler in Phoenix. So he yelled at Bradley the whole entire game from the crowd. I don't know if he knew that he was sitting right next to Bradley's wife and kid, and he has a young kid. And what was happening was the guy is yelling at Bradley and saying really awful things to him. And Bradley's kids started crying and really sad because this man was saying such awful, mean things about his father. And the wife was really mad, and she started yelling at the guy and getting an argument. And then Bradley was in the game, and he looked over and he saw his kid crying and his wife yelling at some guy in the crowd. And in some ways, that's sad and that sucks. Well, in some ways, I'm going to say this, Bradley. I don't think it's right for fans to do that either, especially with family members. I don't think that's right either. But, you know, the fan has a gripe that's kind of right. Your no trade clause kind of screwed up the Suns right now. And Suns fans being mad at you, just like Mavericks fans are mad at Nico Harrison. I mean, I can see why, honestly. I can see why. But it's not right to make a kid cry like that. It's not right to do that. That kid is innocent, and he has nothing to do with all this in his father's no trade clause. So a couple of notes about crowds in the NBA. I got about a half an hour. Let's keep going. Yeah, fun reaction stream to a great victory over the Sixers last night. I love it. Yeah. Nago saying, Ulrich keeping up with the NBA game while playing in the scheme. Love to see it. Want to see IQ keep it up. Fantastic Scotty game. Yeah, all that I will agree with. Yeah, Darko did talk after the game about Shamshay's what he's going to be doing for the rest of the year. He is going to be bouncing up to our main squad more often than not, going from to and from 905 and the Raptors. He's still very important to the 905, is what Darko made clear, and he said he's been doing really well there, and I don't want to mess that up. But he will be playing for the Raptors on the main squad more and more in frequency as we get to the end of the season. So expect Shamshay in games like last night more often going forward. We'll have to see. Now, the 905 season is going to end at a certain point before the NBA season's over, and then Shamshay will be full-time with us on the main squad. So James is saying Embiid pulled a Ben Simmons. He was so open. I know. He was scared to take that three. And it's weird because if you think about it, James, these killed us with a dagger three like that in a lot of games. In fact, I was having a little bit of PTSD in that instant when it looked like the play was forming where he was going to get daylight at the top of the key and he was just going to be able to bomb a three and put it in overtime. But alas, he chickened out. In some ways, that's a sign that he is not a confident player right now, that he could make that three no matter what. He made one like that earlier. So it's like, well, what? He's shying away from trying to be clutch and making a very horrible decision and then turning the ball over and giving it to us. Yeah, I love it. He failed miserably, and the Sixers fans are pissed. I'm sure they're pissed about that. Yeah. Let's see. Fiercely saying IQ was eating dry chicken and he had to take sips of water. Yeah, it's hilarious. Let that man eat his dinner. You know, if you haven't watched Emmanuel Quickly's post-game interview from last night, in some ways it's a Raptor legend. Seriously. There's sometimes these post-game interviews just have something about them that are just awesome. And I think Raptors Reddit and Raptors culture needs to capture this and have the dry chicken moment as a thing that we want. We had Justin Champagny sunning people in the past. Y'all made a big deal out of that. Can we make something out of IQ and the dry chicken, please? Raptors culture makers. Maybe I'm starting to make the culture by just bringing it up right now. I can't drink. This chicken's dry. This chicken's dry. I know what you're talking about, Emmanuel. I'll eat that chicken sometimes. I get dried out and I'm choking. I need something. Yeah. He's trying to do an interview. That's multitasking. Yeah, he's trying to eat his dinner. He's trying to do the interview. He's trying to be friends with his teammates and pal around in there too with RJ. He's just multitasking, eating his chicken, doing an interview. Yeah, that's a legendary interview, y'all. Seriously, Emmanuel's awesome in it too. He's like, he doesn't give a fuck about the reporters. They're just there kind of bugging him. He's more wanting to interact with RJ and eat his chicken. But he just kind of adds in there and adds. He does the interview fine, but I'm serious. Y'all need to watch it. If you haven't seen Emmanuel Quickly's post-game interview last night, it was hilarious, man. This is so good. He's like, he needed that water because the chicken's dry. The chicken's dry. This chicken is dry. Oh, yeah, great moments in Raptors history. Dry chicken. Fiercely saying, I watched Run It Back Philly. He does not understand Nick Nurse's decision making. Apparently, they drafted a good center, but keep DMPing him. They also had Drummond. Yeah, that's Aiden Bona. Yeah, Bona. Yeah, we're out there playing Shamshay. We're out there playing all five of our rookies, and Nick Nurse ain't gonna play Aiden Bona in a game like last night. I know about this about Nick Nurse. Yeah, he starved the youth to give to the veterans. This is why I love my coach, Rajakovic, because this is the same shit Nick did to us for a couple of years at the end. You go ask Malachi Flynn about this. You go ask the young players they're trying to come up through the Raptors and the tenure of Nick Nurse and how he don't play no rookies. Yeah, that's how it is. Run it back, Philly. I'm sorry. I should have told y'all this before y'all stole our coach. Your coach ain't going to develop rookies. He ain't no development coach. All the good development that happened with Fred, Pascal, OG, all those guys, that was Dwayne Casey, bro. Nick Nurse came in and stole the credit afterwards. Dwayne Casey was the one who was the development coach. Then it shows in Detroit now. Nick Nurse ain't no development coach, Philadelphia. You're going to find out with Aiden Bona. Yeah, why the fuck did he DMP? In fact, that was a matchup I was looking forward to, possibly, Shamshay versus Bona. But they didn't play Bona because Nick Nurse is Nick Nurse. That's funny that they brought that up. They also had Drummond. Yeah, they didn't play the Penguin either. I was expecting some Drummond. I really was, but they didn't play him. Fiercely saying, someone said Paul George uploaded more clips than field goals. That might be true. Check his phone. Fiercely saying, Nick Nurse acts like he's given up on the team. Also looks like he's going through it as if he's 10 years older. I will say this. Nick looked better now than he did at the beginning of the season. Nick at the beginning of the season looked overweight, and he looked all like red-faced and just not happy and stressed out in a bad place. He looked a little bit better last night. I think he's coming to grips with what's going on, and he's not as stressed out. In some ways, he has given up. I can tell. I mean, what can he do? It's once again, he's the coach. He's not on the court trying to do stuff, and he can yell at them. He could try and do this, but if he's yelling at a wall, he can't get to them. And it starts with Joel. Leo's exactly right. You set the tone with your leaders, the guy who's there. And if he's half-assed and he's kind of who he is, well, that's how your team is. That's why it matters how Scott is, because he's the one who sets the tone for us. And I'm going to be honest, there was a little bit of something that happened at the beginning of the game where I was not happy with Scott. He had panicky energy at the beginning of the game. I know maybe it's because it's Wells Fargo, whether it's the Sixers, whether it's Nick Nurse, that whole thing. He really wanted to kick some ass and compete last night and win. You could tell Scotty came out there and took it to them, but a little bit too much. I felt like Scotty was too hurried up in the first quarter. And in some ways, his panicky energy rubbed off on some of our young players, specifically Jacoby Walter. I noticed when he got in off the bench for the first time, he was not his normal measured self, because in some ways he was mimicking the energy from the leader of Scott. And Scott's energy was way too fast at the beginning of the game. He needed to slow down and kind of get the panicky stuff out of him. And it maybe was because he was excited about the matchup and really, really wanted to win. Sometimes that happens. But it's a learning lesson, and it didn't hurt us in the end. We won anyway. But yeah, that was interesting about that. Smooth saying the Sixers have completely tuned out Nick Nurse. Yeah, I don't feel like they're playing plays. Like some of the stuff that they were trying to do out there is just kind of like coasting on the talents of their individual players, like Joel. Every once in a while here, Paul George. Maxi's a good student. This is why this is dangerous, having him tied with Embiid so much of his career, because Embiid is a loser. And like Leo said, it's something I've said for a couple of years now already. Joel is never going to win anything. He will never, ever win a championship. He will never, ever, ever win a championship. He just doesn't have the health. And to be honest, I'm kind of worried his career is over, because he doesn't look right. He could have this surgery and he doesn't heal right, and he never actually ever comes back again. Seriously, in some ways, some of the Sixers fans should probably wish for that, because y'all need to get past Embiid one way or another, whether it's him trading him out of there, or he just is not able to play anymore physically because of injury. Seriously, is it's getting like that? You continue to have the same surgery in the same place and it doesn't get fixed, your NBA career can end. Let's just put it that way. And honestly, he's not an athlete. He's not taking care of himself, and he's in bad shape. He's in bad shape. He looked horrible last night. I mean, seriously, the way he was moving around, he shouldn't have been out there, honestly. He shouldn't have been out there. So I would say this. In some ways, you're messing up Tyrese Maxey because of Joel Embiid. In some ways, Maxey was different last night than I've ever seen him. Normally, when I see Maxey, he's just on top of it, ultimate pro, and just a badass. And I really want him on my team because he's so good. That wasn't like that last night. As much as y'all are saying that Nick Nurse has given up and he's apathetic, I think Maxey's there too. Seriously. And that's not good for a young player like him who's been progressing so well in his young career, to be kind of spinning his wheels and feeling like this in this situation with Joel being the leader of the team and what he brings with that. I'm just saying, this is not a good situation for them. Y'all give me a cutoff, because we're going to be off this channel in about 20 minutes, because we got an 11 o'clock game, Raptors 905, Cleveland Charge, 11 a.m. start. So we got to be ready. Fiercely saying Sixers last 4 losses with the Heat, with the big 3. Heat, no Jimmy Butler. Bucks, no Giannis. Pistons, no Cade. Raps, no RJ, Yak, and BI. Yeah, they're in trouble. Yeah, I'm surprised they actually won one of their games recently, honestly. So we're saying technically PJ Tucker has a roster spot, right? I was wondering what's taking the Raptors so long to waive him. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. You know what? They described it as a game of chicken. That's what Blake said. I think it's a game of chicken. They're kind of waiting to see if PJ just kind of says, yeah, just rip my contract up. I think there's a little bit of a Vinchenkov going on right now, as far as do you want to buy out, or do you want to just rip up the contract and you can go anywhere you want? There's a little bit of a game of chicken going on with PJ Tucker on the down low with our front office and him. And maybe they're like, yeah, we'll just hold on to you. We don't care. We know you don't want to come here. Well, if you really don't want to be here, well, rip your contract up. And we wouldn't even buy you out. You can just go somewhere else, and you're off the hook. We don't want you here. You don't want to be here, but we're not going to buy you out. Maybe you just want to get there so bad because your time's ticking on your clock for your career, well, go ahead and rip the contract up. I think that's what's going on right there, Reggie, is what I just said. There's a little bit of a game of chicken going on with PJ Tucker. In some ways, Bobby Webster is not worried because you know what? That flexibility of that roster spot is going to come in handy later down the road. Blake does a really good job of explaining all this in his content. I highly recommend Blake Murphy right now for salary cap and roster stuff right now. He's just got really good articles on Sportsnet right now. So go and read Blake Murphy. He explains it all really, really well. And I'm aggregating from him, honestly. So let's see. Fiercely saying, I love when Oshai deflected the ball and poked it ahead in transition. Yeah, that play was top level masterful. That play was so top level. And it really shows the basketball IQ of Oshai Abaji to telegraph that O-Rob had hit the ball out of Joel's hands just enough for him to get it like that. That was so good. That was so good. Jimmy Pope saying, IQ looking great. He's mixing up just right. You know, the assist turnover ratio wasn't that good, but he was more of a scoring guard last night, and there's nothing wrong with that. I want to have flexibility for the roles that these guys are going to play to a degree between Scotty and Emmanuel and Brandon when he comes in. RJ also to a degree. So, you know, they're going to give different things on different nights according to matchups and how things are going in the game. And, well, they go in the flow of the game, and Emmanuel's contributing. He's making key baskets. I like some of the stuff where he go in the lane. He makes little floaters along with the threes. And they're just good money shots. I have no problem with Emmanuel shooting anytime. He's the one Raptor. I got a green light for shoot whenever you want, and you can put up the craziest ass shots because I know you'll make some crazy ass shots. It could be deep out. It could be flying through the air or something like that. You throw it up, he'll go in. He'll go in. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Nameless saying, oh, they definitely hate each other. That team is most likely at each other's throats every single night. Total distraction and disarray. Thank you, Nameless. Good to see my paisano in the chat. A big fan of Bobby Webster in the front office. My good friend, the plumber. Yeah. You think that you could feel the hate between Nick and Joel? Did you see how Nick reacted when Joel missed the free throw in the fourth quarter? That told you everything right there. He went like this. He went like that. It was great. Randolph saying, game day blessings. Beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. When you get to the top of the mountain, don't regret the climb or the need to keep going. Remember, the sky's the limit. That's crazy. So you're saying we get a beanstalk grows out of the top of the mountain like a Super Mario Brother bonus coin level, and then all of a sudden you're and you're up in the clouds, and there's like a hammer brother on a cloud throwing hammers at you, and you're trying to grab all the chain. I'm trying to figure it out. If you're at the top of the mountain, how do you keep climbing? I love you. I love you, Randolph. Blessing to Randolph Phillips, the Phillips family, and all the Raptor Freak families. I appreciate your words of wisdom. Just playing around. It's fun. Nameless saying this may be Nick Nurse's last season as a Sixers coach, but don't get it twisted. That man will get picked up, and he could get hired by a lesser team in this league. He's a name. He's going to do something. He might take a year off though after this one because he didn't get a year off after our being with us for 10 years. And he was really talking like he needed some time off at the end of his Raptors coaching career. That was the most important thing to him, not the playing, was getting vacation time. Well, if he parts ways with the Sixers, he's probably going to take a year off before he returns to coaching. That's what I would guess. He needs it. Honestly, he needs it. Wouldn't that be lovely? I don't know. You know, in some ways, look, the thing with Nick is so weird because it's not like Vince. I hated Vince for 20 years, and I've hated him again now. I hated him for 20 years, and then I stopped hating him for 3 months recently, and now I hate him again now, all of a sudden, on his Dunkiversary. Now with Nick, I hated Nick when he did what he did to us, and he went to Philadelphia. It's a total snake move, like Kevin Durant going from Oklahoma City to Golden State. But the thing about it with Nick is I'm seeing the failure that's happening to him now, and I'm feeling sorry for him. Because in some ways, I love Nick Nurse. I've covered him so closely. I've watched him so long on our team. And he was a big part of our streams before when I first started this channel, when he was still our coach. In some ways, I feel for him right now. And in some ways, I when things come around in the end, we are going to honor and love Nick Nurse in the right way, even though he did what he did. Right now, I'm starting to feel sympathy for him. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I shouldn't. Wayne Strainer probably come and say, no, Lex, you shouldn't feel sorry for Nick. Just he's tough. Sergeant Wayne Strainer probably tell me that. but I'm starting to get soft, I guess. I kind of feel sorry for him. I'm not lying. I really do. Name saying the beauty of it all is Nick did it himself. I know. It didn't have to be like this. I mean, honestly, he could be looking, Nick looks at the team that he went against yesterday, and that's not anything like the team he had a couple of years ago. This is nothing like it. Sure, Chris and Scott are out there, but nobody else is. There's not a single damn other player that he coached that's on our team anymore. None of those guys are recognizable to him. And the way that we drafted with our rookie class and some of the things he saw last night, I'm sure Nick looked at Shamshay and he was like, oh my God, man, what I wish to be in Toronto again right now. Seriously, think about it. He's seen Scotty. You don't think Nick knows Scotty intimately, being his first ever NBA coach for his first couple of years of his career? You don't think he's seeing Scotty's growth and seeing the fun of what's happening with him and being, man, if I could have Scotty now on my team, and boy, look at Shamshay. Holy crap, what is he going to be down the road? Yeah, grass greener in different places, Nick. Yeah, and I'm telling you now today, good luck with those guys. How about that? Yeah, it turns around and flip the other side. How about that? Good luck with your guys, because your guys are not professional. And you said it yourself before the game. These guys are not doing the right things on their off days to be recouped and ready for the games. And that's why they suck so bad. That's what he blames, seriously, that they're not being professionals on their off days. They're not doing the right things to heal. And I think he's specifically talking about, Joel. That's right. Derps is saying, absolutely. Jolene Simmons was the best Raptor on the floor. Jolene Simmons was the best Raptor on the floor. Who's Jolene? Jolene. Lean over and fall on your stupid face. Jolene. Get out of the way. He might hurt you and end your career, Danny Green. Oh! Timber, he's falling. He fell on Ulrich. Man, that made me so mad. I was like, if you hurt Ulrich, I'm like, dude, he's from Cameroon. Why are you trying to hurt him, Joel? You're supposed to help your countrymen. You hate your home country so much, you're going to hurt the 19-year-old Cameroonian coming up underneath you? You hate your country that much? I won't play for Cameroon. I'll play for USA, and I'm going to hurt their prospect by big splashing him in the middle of the game. He put all of his weight on top of Shamshay, and you saw how Shamshay went, and he was on the court. He's hurting, man. That big dummy jumping on him on his midsection. That was messed up, man. That was messed up, Ed Malloy. You should have been calling a technical on that. That's right. Billy Ball Barnes is fantastic. This is his strength. Let's get him going. There you go, G. I like that. Monique is here. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Go Raptors. Awesome win last night. Keep crying, tankers. Listen, even if we don't win, let's give Cavs a good run. I want to win, though. I'm in the arena tonight. How should I feel, Lex? I want you to go down and bring those vibes and get that fun in the Dunkiversary. Monique going to another game tonight, representing the Raptor Freak family down at the arena. Hopefully you get that shirt, that Dunkiversary shirt, and get all the good things, the good vibes. And, hey, fuck around. Maybe we do win. I mean, I didn't think we were going to win yesterday, but boy, when the game started, I was like, yeah, we can win this game. I was like coming in on paper. I was like, man, this could be tough. Joel is going to play. I was like, damn, that's what we said yesterday. If Joel plays, it's going to be hard to win. If he doesn't play, we should win. Well, he did play, and we won. So that's awesome. I love that, man. I love that so much. Mo, you go down there. And, yeah, Tank Nation, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Why are we winning? It's the Sixers, y'all. It's a grudge match. We need to beat them. That's why. Nako saying, Lex, would you scout Cooper Flag again? Last time we watched this high school tape, and it looks like there's more college tape on YouTube. I'm not going to scout today. We're too condensed. I only got 10 more minutes, and we did do Cooper Flag before. But we'll do a scout another day. I'm just going to skip today. There's too much going on. I came on too early, and I'm running out of time. I've got 10 minutes. I want to go through the chat to the end of it. Most saying credit to the coaches. That was development last night. So happy. It was both. We got the circle around winning and development. We did it at the same time. That's the optimal thing to do, is let's develop guys, get lots of time for the rookies, but also win. And, hey, we check both boxes. I love that. Most saying IQ locked in his 15 gameplay last night. Yes, and yes. He's looking up the speed. He's looking like he's off minutes restrictions, and we should be going full tilt with Emmanuel and being able to play in crunch time like he did last night. Fiercely saying, it's okay. Shamshay is learning. Quite a big vote of confidence from Darko to put him in the game. We can't hate the effort. He will gradually learn. Of course. This is a natural progression for a young player. I think they said last night this is his 7th NBA game ever. And all those other times were garbage minutes at the end of games for like maybe a minute or two. So this was his first substantial run in the NBA on the NBA level. And well, go ahead. You can go play Joel Embiid. So yeah, I'm totally with you on this. This is totally natural for a rookie. G saying Shamshe is fearless and very strong. His blocking looked great. Yes, look green, but you can see the potential. He doesn't even know what he's doing right now. That's the crazy thing. And I see it on the G League level all the time still too. And I saw it out there last night. There are times where he totally looked like he didn't belong out there. I'm not gonna lie, guys. And that's not a diss on him. It's just he's 19 and he's really young, and he did cause problems for us. He was the one who was making us lose the most on the court last night. But the experience gained and feelings of winning and beating Joel, that's all so valuable, even if he goose egged and he was the worst Raptor on the court last night. Even if, yeah, and that's all true. What I just said, that's all true. He was the worst Raptor on the court last night. Most saying happy for my rooks. Yeah, we got to see all 5 of the rookies play in the game last night. Jacoby, Jamal, Jonathan, Jameson, and Shamshe. Shamshe being the 5th one, finally getting in there. Derps is saying first win with all 5 rookies playing, and Shamshe getting some real minutes was fire. Yeah, I loved it too, Derps. Neil's saying SBM. Wait, what? SBM. What's SBM? I don't know what that acronym is. Raptors hasn't released PJ because they have to fill the 15 open spot first. You can't have 2 open spots in the regular season. We can carry 1 open spot. Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Blackhawks saying because we do technically have another open spot that we haven't even utilized yet either. Yeah, I don't know what Bobby's going to do. I'm just trusting him and let him do his magic. In some ways, converting Jameson to a full-time contract and putting that 2-way on Robinson, really, really smart moves so far. And there's going to be more coming up. And it's going to be very interesting. We'll have to see who they come in for tryouts to try and add to this team. And maybe possibly somebody's a keeper, like a Jameson Battle or an Orlando Robinson. We'll have to see. Yeah, Blackhawk, thanks from Smooth. And most saying, man, was it ever great to see Maxey have a bad game? I felt kind of bad for him, and I speculated that he did it to be nice to quickly because that's not normal for him. You know, Maxey was not aggressive. It's like he wasn't even trying to get the ball or attack or anything. Normally he is. It goes through him. He's like overused. We know how Nick was with Fred. Well, Maxey's his Fred now. And in some ways, that's so weird that Maxey wasn't going to more aggressively throughout the whole entire game. They really didn't get him the ball or try and find him, which shocked me. I don't understand that at all. I really don't. Let's see. Fiercey saying manifesting a sweep on March 12th by Sixers. Well, that's the 3rd game, and then there's a 4th one after that. So it's not going to be a sweep yet. We got to win all 4. We're halfway there. We've got 2 of them down. There's 2 more Sixers games still to go this season. So the 12th is the 3rd one, and then there's one after that. So the sweep's going to be a little bit away. Let's see. And we don't want to talk about sweep yet. We got to get the 3rd one first. Blackhawks saying technically front office can keep filling the last spot with 10 days until the season ends. So the open spot and PJ Tucker's spot goes to our draft pick. Yeah, there's some really interesting leverage here. I really do feel like we're badasses. And like the Shenkov last summer and him having to go to Greece and just ripping his contract up was such a G move. And well, this thing with PJ Tucker, in some ways, this showdown is kind of like this, is what I'm saying. They're kind of trying to see, well, what do you want to do with your life, PJ? Do you want to get released by the Raptors or not? Well, rip up your contract. That's what we're saying. Rip up your contract. That's what I'm saying. That's right. Derps is saying Sixers can win games again if Embiid is out. Mr. saying, Lex, let's do a poll on Raptors making play-in or not. I believe they can and upset teams. I'm going to be done in like 8 minutes, so I'm not going to set it up right this second. But you know what? Maybe we'll talk about this on Friday. We're going to do a Friday freak out for the All-Star weekend. And, I'm not sure what the topic will be because we're going to have a lot of off-season days because it's All-Star weekend and there's no games, no previews and reactions. So there's going to be a little bit of off-season schedule coming up, including trivia on Tuesday, guys. So we're going to have a regular Raptor Freak trivia on Tuesday. So I hope y'all will join me and play trivia with me. It's going to be fun. I'm already thinking about what I'm going to do. And I've got a good idea. I've got a really good idea. But we'll talk about this more. We'll take a poll on this definitely in the near future, Mischief. It's just I'm in a time crunch with 7 minutes till the Raptors 905 game starts. Blackhawks saying Shamshe wins his first NBA game with meaningful minutes. I don't know. He was in a game that we won earlier this season, I think, too. I don't know if that's true. I'm pretty sure he played in a game that we won already this year. He may have played in that Brooklyn game, I think, at New Year's Eve, didn't he? New Year's Day. I don't know. I was at that game and they won. I don't know. He probably was in the one where they won at some point. Smooth saying, "Wow, PJ getting 11 million to do nothing." That's what I'm saying. It's like in some ways that now let's not get it twisted. We're not paying that money. Miami's paying them. They're on the hook for that money because of the way the deal was done. So they're paying the 11 million. We just have his rights. So it's kind of funny, man. That's my kind of gig. Tucker hasn't played in 2 years. Yeah, there you go. Jerp saying, no idea why Embiid doesn't do what Lonzo did with his knees, but maybe it's too experimental soon. Still, probably can just get traded and make 200 million doing nothing on an expansion team. Yeah, it's going to be whatever. I think, like they said on the broadcast, Leo was very clear about this. More teams are not going to be enchanted with people like Joel, Luka, and Zion Williamson because they're not worth the money, and they don't want to invest supermax money in people like that. And that's the thing that's going to be a real weird reality for Joel. Is this money that he's getting paid for what he's given the Sixers is not worth it. And he's getting in the way of them winning too at the same time. And if we say salute freaks, Nurse will be fired at the end of the season. Book it. Yeah, it's looking like that. In some ways, I feel bad for him at this point. So we're saying Bulls have 6 guards on their roster. What? They only have 6 guards? That seems like the right amount. Maybe that's too many. I don't know. Nako saying this team has playoff talent given injuries and development. I don't think we're headed there this year. Trading Kelly is also moved for next season, not this season. What do you mean, to the play-in? No, we could make the play-in if we try. Once again, my target is 26 wins. Well, we have 9 more to go as of last night. Can we win 9 more games before the end of the season, Scotty? I want to see it. Emmanuel's all about it. Emmanuel's saying it, and they said it in the broadcast too. The players aren't thinking about tanking and not going all out and trying to win. They have to practice this at full tilt because that's the exercise of getting reps at full tilt in winning ways. So Emmanuel being happy and yelling at the end of the game, yeah, and then saying, yeah, we're winning and we want to win more. Well, Stank Nation, open your ears and listen to the point guard of the Raptors, Emmanuel, quickly, because he wants to win. He's not fucking around with his life wasting time for Stank Nation to please y'all. No, this man wants to win. He's not wasting his life. He wants to go to games and win. He's not trying to lose on purpose just so y'all can try and capture the flag. So, yeah, get off of that tip. If you're on that tip, Raptors Nation, seriously, get off that tip. Get with the program and read the memo, because the memo is get in the car. We're going to play to the best of our ability and try and win. That's what I'm saying. Stargate saying Blackhawk completely roasted one of those wacko Zazu Spaces individuals. It was a masterpiece. Big up Blackhawk. All right. I didn't see it. I don't know what he said, but I know it was probably badass. And he may have echoed some of the things we say here every day. And so Blackhawk, Neil, is going to get a dunk for his work in the Zazu Spaces and informing the Zazu Spaces kindergarten class on Raptors affairs like a mature adult would. And there's his third dunk. He's got 9 points on the dunk charts now. Thank you, Blackhawk, for Project Truth. Let's see. Mischief saying, Raptor freaks, be careful out there. There's a storm coming today. Embrace the impact. Well, maybe that storm is called Scotty Barnes, and he's coming at the Cavaliers today. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I'll be watching basketball all day, starting in about 4 minutes, and then I'll be watching later. So let me get real quick here. Let's see if I can do Micro Machines talk real quick. You know Micro Machines? Monique saying, beyond happy for Brandon Ingram. This is a great thing. This is like Kawhi. We're going to have him long term. You guys don't even know. I'm telling you, his impact on the Raptors is going to be huge. And casual Raptors fans are going to come back and they'll be like, damn, the Raptors are really good. Really, really good. Kareem Thomas saying Scotty was okay with everybody questioning his play, but drew the line with Matt Bonner. That said, I hope it's the first and last time Scotty calls out a broadcaster. It's childish. Great game, though. I don't think that's childish. That's fantastic. I think Matt Bonner will be very pleased and happy that he had an added effect to help the Raptors. So I'm completely disagreeing with you. But because honestly, that really worked, and it helped us that Matt Bonner did that. So thank you, Matt Bonner. No problem with any of this. And in fact, I would love for Scotty to do a post-game interview and say, Raptors Freak said I couldn't score 50, so I had to go out there and prove him wrong. So I went out there to score 50. Scott, you can't score 50. I know you can't score 50. You suck, Scotty. You can't score 50. No, I don't think you suck. But I'm just saying, you can't score 50, Scott. Prove me wrong, like Matt Bonner. I want that. That's right. Derps is saying, was an Eagles crowd, not Sixers, from what I could tell. Well, they're the same. Kyle Lowry wearing his Eagles gear on the bench, just happy. The Sixers a dumpster fire burning around him. And Kyle Lowry looks so giddy and happy because the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Monique say, I love all the boos in the crowd for Embiid. I love that too. I do. Stargate saying, Kareem, I'd rather him call out a broadcaster than some prattle talking YouTuber or some X Spaces adolescent. He don't know they exist. He don't know they exist. He knows I exist, but he don't know they exist. Didn't find that childish at all. Glad it was that motivated him, not the other. Yeah, and these guys are going to say what they're going to say. In some ways, it's like, this is great. This is great. Matt Bonner, I like you more because of this. And Scotty probably does too, because you got something there. Scarborough to Calgary. That's right. That's our man, Seymour Pape, the city slicker, holding it down out west for us. All right, I may go into the game a little bit. In some ways, the game, because I see Nins is here, and I do want to hear what Nins has to say about the game. And we're getting right to the end here. Seymour saying snowball fight. Yeah, let's not talk about that. I don't want to even bring up politics today. We don't have no time for that shit today. And I'm going to say this right now. The thing that happened yesterday with Mike for extending this stream for 2 hours was because he was not in his right mind. I talked to him on the phone, and he was inebriated. And he was not talking to me in his normal self. And that's the whole reason why he didn't make no damn sense. And he kept talking about his family over and over again, because he did the same damn thing when I got on the phone with him. He was slurring his speech, and I got him to admit that he'd been up drinking all night, and he was just really, really drunk when he was here yesterday in the stream arguing with me about politics. Stupid ass shit. I'm telling you right now. Mike, I love you. In some ways, you worry the hell out of me because of that, man. I'm saying that. Yeah. Seymour saying, Lex, are you rocking? No, we're not talking about this. I'm going to avoid any of these kind of comments right now, Seymour, because you don't want to hear what I have to say about this, and I don't have the fucking time. Seriously. Stargate saying them playing the Pointer Sisters in the arena was nostalgic for me. It's automatic. Yeah, that was awesome. Automatic. Down, down, down. Yes. Fiercely saying W stream. W saying VI3 getting paid in reality, if healthy, under 40 year over 2 years. Yeah, it's a good deal. I think it's a good deal. It's very fair. Don't add any more comments, y'all. Do not write anything more. Blackhawks saying fans got to remember the player's salary is at best half the organization revenue, ownership, and agreed to this, so they have to spend the money. There's no going back. Yeah, the fans arguing about money. In some ways, we see their price tags. Why don't we go look at CEOs' price tags around the world and start getting mad about those? You want to get mad about people getting paid too much for not doing nothing? Go talk about CEOs sitting at the top of big corporations, get huge packages like that Starbucks guy who just got their shit. Yeah, that's who y'all should talk about. Direct that kind of energy towards that. How about that? B.I. Oh my. B.I. Oh my? Is that going to be one of them? B.I. Oh my? Maybe. Stargate saying Sid Sixero had a rather ignorant tweet as well about the Brandon Ingram issue. I like Sid, but he sounded rather novice in that tweet. A very hockey-centric take about basketball situations. He's always been that way. Fuck him. I'm glad he got fired. That's the gist of it right there. Nins is saying, good morning, Raptor Freaks. It was amazing seeing all the salty Sixers fans in person. The Raptors kept them contained, and Sixers fans couldn't get in the game the entire night. Nins, that must have been a joy. That must have been one of the best moments, one of the most fun nights you've ever had in your life. Seriously, I don't know what your life's like, but if I was me, it would be me. I would be like that in enemy lines and seeing it all around me like that. You feeling like Nabatia that one time when we beat the Sixers in the playoffs, and he was like, goodbye, go home. You were like that at the end of the game. And I swear, Nins, I saw you on the TV for a second. When they panned down the edge of the Raptors bench, you were kind of over off to the side behind them, and I saw you in your black hoodie in your jersey, like you said. And I feel like you have a little bit of a cut like this on top, right? Was that you, Nins? Because I swear I saw you for a split second. Seriously, I looked for you, and I pretty swear I think I did see you. You must have heard some cool stuff being near the bench. Right there. Did you hear Scotty yelling, Eagle, Eagle, Eagle? It's so good. I'm past 11, but I don't care. I'm going to miss a little bit of the beginning. This is fun to talk to you guys. It was a great game last night. Blackhawk saying, isn't Sid looking for a new job? Yeah. And Smith saying, I initially had concerns about Ingram too. Raptors rebuild and fit, etc. Well, we know that these guys don't misstep, and this is a strong vote of confidence to get this extension done right now. It assuages so many fears. It puts in some ways, this pisses Josh Lewenberg off because he can't speculate about whether he's going to be back with us or not for months. He's like, oh, well, now he's going to be there. Oh, great. Well, good job, Bobby. Let's not have any kind of bullshit that the press can pull things about and gaslight Raptors fans into being worried about what Brandon Ingram's going to do, because we'll go ahead and just get it done now. And I love that. That's so good. That's so good. And then saying, I screamed as loud as I could for all of IQ and Grady's threes and deflections. Awesome, man. I'm sure you did such a good job. There were a lot of good Raptors fans near the bench. I saw them wearing the jerseys. And yeah, you guys were great. You guys did fantastic. I'm so proud of the Raptors fans that were in Wells Fargo last night, specifically our guy Nins. What a good job, man. You really brought it for the RFF last night, like Monique will do here tonight for the Cavs game. That's right. I love that. Yeah, Nins in the house. Must have been a blast. It's just fun, man. What a great memory, man. I seen my brother, my dad, and my nephew go to the Atlanta game and see that beautiful second victory against the Hawks in those two games. That was a beautiful thing. And seeing Nins going to this game and being there in person, it's just awesome to have a person on site witness with their own two eyes in the building, and especially that close to the court. If that was you that I saw on camera, you were very close to the game. Very, very close to the game. I'm pretty sure it was, because it was exactly what you described yesterday, the person I saw on the screen. Yeah, let's see. Mobo and Shamshay would look to the bench for guidance every time they made a bad play or fouled Embiid. There you go. So you're seeing the teaching up close and the mentoring of Jonathan Mobo and Ulrich Shamshay. Beautiful comment. I love this. This is the kind of stuff I want to hear. Ninja saying, yeah, I definitely had a blast. I made sure I stood up and took a picture of the crowd behind me at the end of the game. Yes, get that. Yes, Ninja's a real one in Philly for us, man. I love this. Blackhawk saying SBM doubts are fine. I don't even know what that means. SBM. What is that? SBM? Scotiabank maneuver? Scotty Barnes maneuver? What is SBM? I don't know what that is. Doubts are fine, as we haven't seen what it looks like. I believe it'll be good. What is SBM? I don't even know what that is, man. I don't know all the acronyms you guys use sometimes. Mischief saying Raptors have 10 million in salaries cap space after the branding signing. They have a lot of flexibility, and we're doing good, man. We're going to do real good. Trevor's saying, Lex, you have 45 minutes. It's looking like you're not going to get to all these comments. You need to read the comments faster. All right, Trevor, I'm trying. I'll try and take some of that mischief. All right. Naka saying, I think I saw someone there somewhere, the politician in Africa called Embiid a traitor. Yeah, I've heard that one. Blackhawks saying 3 rookie centers destroy one experience. Joel Embiid. They're not rookies, though. 2 of them are. Orlando Robinson's like a 4-year pro, just so you know. He's been in the league for like 4 years. He's has more experience than Oshai in years. Seriously. Orlando's like a vet to a degree, guys. Blackhawks saying that's because Embiid did not play for Cameroon. That's right. Mitch is saying, I'll split the pot with you, Blackhawk. $5.3 million to you, $5.3 million to me. Okay. For the extra salary cap. Blackhawks saying tonight is the true test for Scotty because he's going against Twin Towers. Man, I hope Pirtle just all of a sudden is ready. I'm going to go check again and see if anything's changed while we've been talking. Seriously. Let's see. All the scouting we did. I'm down with mischief. All right. I like that. Is there going to be a press conference for Brandon? I don't know. Yeah, there might be. There could very well be one today. Actually, you're right. It could be. I don't know when they'll be. I don't know. Maybe they won't do it. They've had him interview with the press already. It's not like he needs to be introduced. So Blackhawk just wants the moolah. Man, as hype as I get about basketball, the only thing I shout at games is defense and clap. Hey, do whatever your natural cheering is. Over under on Nick lasting the whole season. He'll make the whole season. He might get fired in the offseason. I'll see that. Good luck with those guys, Nick. Exactly. Smooth saying if Nick quits his job, he doesn't get paid. I'm guessing that's why he stick around, of course. Fiercely saying Maxey was as good as shooting guard. People can't hate on Harden all they want, but he did facilitate with brilliance and help Maxey and Embiid. This is a fair point by MJ, and I'm a complete agree with it. That Harden was important for them in some ways, and him losing them, that was not good. Picking Nurse over Harden might have been a bad move, honestly. In hindsight, it's weird. Not picking Harden over, because Harden was not going to be able to be playing with Nick Nurse as a coach. That just wasn't going to happen. Maxey's body language is off. Yeah, he was very quiet and just not there. Stargate, where's that Raptors fan 23 now? He's talking about the Zazu Spaces where he carved them up. Yeah, I'm really surprised the Sixers have not fired him. They're not going to fire him in the middle of the year. Daryl Morey likes Nick, and, well, he'll wait, and the Sixers fans will have the torches and pitchforks for him at the end of the year. Watch. Yeah. W Stream, W Vibes. Thank you. There's my cutoff. Blackhawks saying Sixers trying to get a draft pick so they can move on from Embiid. Okay. Mavs started the Empire Strikes Back wave for ownership. Others are following. What's up, Mo? Ninja saying the Scotty Shamshay combo looked good to me. At times, I genuinely wanted to see them out there rather than Mobo or Orlando. Yeah, it's really interesting to see their two bodies running up and down the court together at the same time. And, Scotty mentioned Shamshay in the post-game interview very glowingly. And, I mean, he's got to be really ecstatic. That's another person that he can look at and say, yeah, I love my team. Masai and Bobby are so good. They got Shamshay coming up the pipelines. And I can see where this guy's going. And I love my team. That dude's coming up. Seriously, that's right there. Blackhawks saying in time, Nins, Darko rotated them right last night. I think that he showed a lot of different combos, but I saw what Nins is saying on the TV. He saw it in person. the time when Shamshay and Scotty was out there, that was a very interesting physical look for our team. Those guys are big dudes, and they're similar in some ways. Seriously, physically, they're similar in some ways. Stargate saying he's just one of those arrogant, spoiled little entitled kids who can insult his parents with impunity and thinks he can just do that to any older person. You put him in his place. I remember Raptor fan 23. He's come in here before, and I think I've set him straight before here. Getting over the flu, Neil, finally at tonight's game. I'm glad you're feeling better, Mo. I know that you've been very active and busy with activities. And, I hate to hear that you haven't been feeling well lately, but I'm glad you're feeling better. There you go. Ninja's agreeing with Blackhawk. Definitely a child. Real men stands on 10 toes for what they say. Okay. It was like that. Nins is saying, I think that benefited us being able to throw a bunch of different bigs at Embiid. I think so, too. That was smart. And we out hustled them for sure last night. And that was a key to the game. Blackhawks saying, glad you're getting over it, Mo. I definitely went around this winter. Yeah. It's the time of year for that. Blackhawks saying, funny thing is it can work on other centers and is a great way to spread out the fouls on our side. I agree with this. I like having different people for Joel. It's just like with a point guard, when we had Davion, throwing IQ, Davion, and Jamal against certain point guards was very effective also. Stargate saying, are RJ and Yak back for tonight, or are they going to be out? Let me go look at the latest lineup news, and I will say this, that they already said RJ's playing tonight in the post-game interview because it was Emmanuel said it. He announced it. He said RJ's playing tomorrow. He's cleared, and RJ Barrett will be playing basketball tomorrow. He announced it in his post-game interview, and RJ confirmed it. He said, yeah, I'm going to play tomorrow. So RJ's back. It's up in the air about Jakob, and Brandon's probably not for sure. So Trevor's saying that 11 p.m. is coming. It's getting close. He's worried about me getting here. That's right. That 11 p.m. PJ's getting is coming from Miami. Yeah, Miami has to pay him. It was you. So, Nins, I did see you on the TV. Your hair's a little flat on top, and you had the jersey over a black hoodie. Yeah, I saw you at the end of the bench, kind of off to the side. If they were showing straight on the bench, you couldn't see you behind there, but they did a little angle down the bench at one point during the game, and I saw you. I saw you then. Yeah, you gave me a good description, so I knew what I was looking for. Carlos saying, I love how Masai and Bobby is handling the rebuild, thinking out of the box and not just copying what others are doing. Well, we're a specific, unique team in this league, and we got to use our benefits and go against the detractions. And we just got to do what we can in our specific thing. There's no carbon copy. Everybody does it the same thing. You're in a specific, unique, individual situation, all 30 teams in the league. And that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Blackhawks saying, oh, God, I just drank some skunk juice. Kale, that sounds so good. That is like, I don't care how bad that tastes. I'll drink the hell out of that. I'll down it because I know how healthy that is. Go ahead and drink it, Neil. Just finish it up. Yeah, Trevor's saying 9:05 game is on Ogina's is playing today. Okay, I don't know what that means. SBM is Smooth Brown Man. Okay, you're shortening Reggie's name. I got you. 9:05, 4 points. Cleveland, 11 points in the first quarter. The game started, and Ninja saying, last comment. There was a moment in the beginning of the game where Brandon Ingram tapped Garrett and whispered something in his ear. Garrett then went over to Scotty and told him whatever it is. Garrett is the plug. That's awesome. I love to hear stuff like that. Nins, thanks for being eyes on the court and being there. All right, let's go. Here's the classic card, guys. I'm at the end of the chat. This is easy. If you don't know who this is, we're going to All-Star Weekend in Golden State, and this is a legend that they could have brought out with Run TMC coming around. This guy ran with them, too. You know who this guy is with his porn mustache. You can actually type his name in correctly. Wow, I might even give you some extra points if you could really spell his name right. So who is this classic card, guys? Reggie, if you are here, you'll get it, SBM. I don't know if I want to acronym him. It's either Smooth or Reggie. That's what I'm going to say. Smooth Brown Man. That's right. Blackhawks got the piece up there. All right, who is that, guys? Come on. That is come on. There we go. Smooth's got it. It's not spelled exactly right, but I'm going to give it to him. It's Sarunas Marciulionis, one of the earliest Lithuanian stars of the NBA. Of course, he was running with Run TMC, Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullin back in the day, in the heyday of that with the Golden State Warriors. So good job, Smooth Brown Man. 150 points for Sarunas Marciulionis. Yeah, that's somebody that Jonas Valanciunas knows about. That's right. I know that is very wrong. I mean, we could spell check you. I mean, look, there's Sarunas Marciulionis. And speaking of Lithuanian players, ESPN on their site has Toronto Raptors in their mock draft that came out this morning, drafting point guard from Illinois, Kasparas Jakuzianis. So I'm not going to read what they all wrote. It's Jonathan Wu and Gavini. But their mock draft projecting we'll get Jaskonitis. Is that how you say it? I guess he's a Lithuanian point guard who plays for Illinois. I know you guys know him. They're saying we're going to pick him at 5. That is what the ESPN mock draft is. Ulrich is playing in the 905 game. Woo-hoo-hoo! That kid is going and getting the minutes right now. All right, last night the Raptors beat the Sixers in a fantastic game that was so much fun to watch. You good luck with those guys, Nick. My stars of the game were Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly, Oshai Abaji, Grady Dick, and Jonathan Mobo. Sorry, I didn't do the team stats, but I'll just say we beat them. How about that? The injuries for today with the Raptors, I'm going to tell you right now, RJ's playing tonight, but Brandon Ingram and Jakob are probably out. But that's it. I don't think anybody else is out. You don't count PJ Tucker. On the other side of things, with the very hot, good number 1 team in the East, Cleveland Cavaliers, Ty Jerome is questionable. Max Strus is questionable. Isaac Okoro is out, and Dean Wade is out. That's the injuries for them. The referees for the game that is going on right now on the TV, on the YouTube, Shalisa Painter is the crew chief, Gina Catanzariti, and Bobby Bazant III is the umpire. That's the crew for the game that is started at the 905 game right now. The refs for the Raptors game tonight with Cleveland, Mark Davis, Natalie Sago, and Brandon Schwab. Mark Davis and Natalie Sago slightly favor the Cavs, and Brandon Schwab favors the Raptors. So there's your ref report in real succinct, quick terms. Did the Instagram stories. Don't see Blake Murphy. Blake Murphy, you got an update real quick on anything that has to do with the Raptors real quick? I'm going to talk about right at the end. Nothing there right now. Nothing that I see. Oh, wait, here it is. He's saying that Lawson, Gilliard, Rodin, Omarui, and Kaminsky is playing, and Shamshe's on a minutes restriction in the game that he's playing right now. There you go. They are saying that Brandon Ingram will be speaking pregame to the press as his introduction interview with the press here in Toronto. So there you go. There's no injury report for the Raptors yet from the back-to-back. And so you can't say anything about the latest thing that I would tell you right now. All right, there's no birthday today. There's a new Kensington Variety VIP Club out on the 20th anniversary of the Dunkiversary. So if you want to see what Lex was talking about, he was talking about the Raptors winning 16 in a row and being the best team in basketball is what he's talking about. Raptors forever. I said it on the channel on that one. Let's see. Did David write this in? No, he did not. He's not here, so I'll write this in really quick. And yeah, let's get out of here and let's go watch the 905. I better write this in. Where is this? Why is this not working? It's not allowing me to edit. I don't know why it's doing that. David, you fix that, please. All right, and that's it. Let me get out. All right, thanks for watching me. I'll be back tomorrow to react to both the games today and also preview another G League game against the Cleveland Charge, which will be happening tomorrow too. So we got a back-to-back. Smooth saying, be careful of the snow tonight, Lex. I appreciate that. What I'm going to do is I've parked my truck at the end of my driveway so I could drive straight out onto the street without having to dig any of it out. So I'll be ready for tomorrow because I do have to drive somewhere tomorrow. And hopefully I won't get too snowed in. But we'll see. We'll see what happens out there. Yeah. Yeah, Mark Davis. Yeah, I'm not worried about Mark Davis. It'll be what it is. Yeah, Nins has a valuable comment. Yeah, me at the end. Let's see. Last comment. There was a moment. Yeah, I read that comment. I've read that comment already. All right, thanks, everybody, for watching me today. Let's go watch the 905 right now. Thank you for being Raptors fans, and thank you for enjoying a great victory over the Sixers with me last night. This is what bonds us together. This is the good feels. Enjoy it. Love it. Appreciate it. Just be glad to be fans. Just enjoy the fandom and the joy of watching the game and having fun watching it. That's what you felt last night. So put it in a bottle. Save it for later because it's awesome. That's what I'm saying. No problem, Fiercey. I'm just talking so fast. You didn't hear me. Let's go, Raptors. Raptors,